Hi, I am Queen Angela Thomas, celebrating African American history 24/7, 365. I am history. I am American history. I am Black history. I am African history. I am creating and leaving a legacy.
Want to make your dreams come true? You need unique solutions for your business, tailor-made to fit you. Come on over to HTA Enterprises, where all your needs are met. Podcast, publishing, marketing and promotion. HTA Enterprises.
Hey y'all. Welcome. I want to welcome you guys to Queen Angela's Book Stop. I want to take this opportunity to showcase some amazing authors, brown authors, Black authors, because we don't get recognized like we should. I'm thankful for this platform. I'm thankful for the opportunity. For those that don't know who I am, let me start with the introductions. Let me clear that up real quick. So I am the queen, affectionately known as the queen of collaboration across these social media streets. But my name is Angela. I am Angela Thomas. I am from Anderson, South Carolina. I reside currently in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I'm an author. I am a self-publishing coach. I am a life coach. And I am a magazine owner, among a few things that I do. But most importantly, I'm a child of God, and I am grateful for these opportunities to be able to provide an opportunity for individuals to share their voice. And God has blessed us with the opportunity to be authors and be able to share through books. And I'm grateful on today, have the opportunity to introduce to some of you guys and reintroduce to some of you some amazing authors that may have been across the platform and some may be new. But we're going to take this opportunity to allow them to share their brands and give you the opportunity to get to know them. My first guest, I'm going to move out the way and let her come on and allow her the opportunity to introduce herself. Welcome. How are you?
Hi, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it, Queen. Thank you for having me. I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I can't complain because I remember my mom used to tell me when I was little. She said it's like using a restroom on yourself. Don't nobody feel that but you, baby. So you know what? That thing has carried on with me, and I try not to complain. Sometimes I catch myself complaining, and then I be like, so, "Don't nobody really care? So why you doing it?" I say
Absolutely.
it ain't nothing but some wasted energy. So why do it? So
I
I'm
say it
glad to be here
frequently.
today to be able to share with you and to give you the opportunity to share about your brand. So if you would, for those that may not know who you are, if you would introduce yourself and give them the opportunity to find out a little bit about you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Again, thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate you. I am author GB Lynch. I'm also a speaker as well as a business consultant. I am my brand. The brand is GB Lynch. I started writing really at a young age, but as far as becoming a published author, I actually was able to accomplish that in 2020. Had some downtime due to the unfortunate pandemic, and finally finished a project that had been a passion of mine for a couple of years, which is what I consider our drought when it comes to Black history, which is American history. A lot of us feel, um, as Black people in America, as African Americans, that we know everything as far as our ancestors' history. And that is so far from the truth. And at that time, um, that particular year, was my 50th birthday. And I felt that I was just coming across too many things that I was hearing that I had not heard before. My husband's always my sounding board. So I ask him, you know, have you heard that before? Did you know that? And if he says no, and I don't know, then I feel like that's a problem, between our years of education and travels and, interaction with various people throughout our lives and everyone from, you know, different cultures. And I'm thinking, that doesn't make any sense, that I'm just hearing, this piece of information or history in point in time. And it just infuriated me because I feel like if I didn't know at that age, at that time, then there are others that don't know. And we need to know. It's not a situation as some of us say, oh, that is so long ago, that is so in the past. Um, we should just let it go. Let what go? You can't let something go that is still happening in present day. And we can't know that it's not something new when these things that we run into, these acts of racism, um, dealing with the numerous bigots that we run into day to day, or that we read about day to day. You can't know that these things that these people are doing are not new if you don't know your history, if you don't know the past, if you don't know what our ancestors went through. You just know a little bit. We know a little icing that's on a slice of the cake, not even the icing that's on the whole cake. There's still so much. And that's why I love this title, that I am history, Black history, 365 days, because we are. And we need to know it. We need to speak about it. We need to educate each other and share it, because there's enough that we could literally talk about this all day, every day, and speak about something new that someone within our circle has never heard before. And these names need to be shared. They need to be mentioned. We need to stop allowing ourselves to be what I call Black and silenced. We are, a wealth of information. We are descendants of greatness, and we need to make sure that we honor them along with honoring ourselves, our heritage, as we move forward. But we can't do it by acting as if, we're all educated on everything when it comes to Black history, because we're not. And it's American history. The other thing I would like to share with you, just in case, if for those of you that do not have my book so far, I do have a passion for Black history. That's where I started my first published book, We Are Still Supposed to Be Slaves, The Chronicles of Being Black in America. That's where I started, because again, from our past connects us to our present. And if we don't know how those are connected, then it carries into our future. So this is going to be, I don't know if it's clear. This is going to be a series. I was aiming for 3, but there's so much information that I really thought originally when I published this in August of 2020 that this would be it. I never planned on it being more than one book, but there is so much information. Again, as I run across things that I did not know, that I've never heard before, I've never read before, I make notes. So I have a book that is so full, again, of notes that I feel like it still there's more to be told. And it's something that drives me. It's not the only thing that I write. I am also working on probably 5 books right now from trying to finish uh, a screenplay also that I'm working on that I think is really something that needs to be shared, needs to become a movie so that we all can see and experience and be able to understand exactly what is happening in this particular um, person's life. So I have a horror movie book that I'm writing that hopefully will become a movie at some point, and a children's book in the works. So I dabble in a lot of things. It's not just Black history, but honestly, that's my passion. My second book that I released actually right before Thanksgiving last year, it's actually a cookbook. Um, Soul Food's Road to Culinary Decadence, the long trip from plantation scraps to celebrated cuisine. I feel like there are a lot of recipes that I know growing up. My mom was an amazing cook, and oftentimes I would ask her, where'd you get this recipe, or how'd you learn to cook this? Those questions that we often ask when we're kids watching our parents, grandparents, whomever in the kitchen. And she will often say, you know, her grandfather, because she was raised by her grandfather, and grandfather apparently, was a great cook as well. Well, I wanted to know exactly, well, where did he learn to cook it? So my mind is naturally inquisitive like that. And I decided that, well, there are a lot of us, I'm sure, today that we have recipes that have been passed down that we cook, if not every day, maybe on special occasions, holidays. I know the recipes that I was passed down, I've passed down to my daughter, and now she prepares them for her family, and hopefully someday maybe my granddaughter, she'll be cooking these same wonderful recipes. But I wanted to know, what's the history behind that. We often assume that different recipes just automatically, came from our ancestors being enslaved. But honestly, as I researched, if you get this book, you'll actually find that the paths don't always lead where you think it's going to lead. So, fun cookbook, especially um, from the feedback that I've been given, is very easy to share while you're in the kitchen, and also have some discussion about the history that's attached to each one. So if you do not have it, I highly recommend getting it. It's really, really good. Last book actually was a collaboration that recently was published um, by Dr. Nikita Davis. It's a great, great book if you are looking for a little inspiration. It's called The Blueprint, Making Boss Moves. So each of these ladies all are included in this book, and it gives some great information, and it's very inspiring about basically how we all got started as far as being entrepreneurs, as well as tips on, if you have a dream, if you have something that you just can't shake, go for it. Like, for me, it was definitely something that I stood in my own way for a lot of years, and I should not have done that. There's no telling where this brand could be had I basically stepped off the curb and, followed the visions that I had for a very long time. Um, so it's 2023, even though we've already said Happy New Year and, pop the corks and stuff. It's February. If you didn't make that move in January, today's another day. No time to waste. Get going, get it, let's do it. And that's what this book is all about. It's about following that passion, that thing that's gnawing inside of you that you just can't shake. So it's time to make some moves on it. Take that first step. So that's what's going on with me.
Wow. You got a lot going on. And I thank you. I mean, but that's a good thing. That is a good thing. You are doing some amazing things. Because anytime that you can share history, because there's a lot of stuff that we as Black people don't know, and that we have been taught by people that are not Black. You know, a lot of our stuff has been taught to us by people that's not Black.
Yeah.
And then now you look at the different things that's taking place right now, and how they are taking history out of the schools and social studies out of the school. You know, they father trying to push us away from truly understanding who we are. If we don't get it ourselves and make it a family thing where we're teaching our children about our ancestors and those that came before us, we're not gonna get it. We're not gonna get it.
No, they're
So
gonna
I'm
have
thankful
it.
for books like yours, and for opportunities like this where we can come together and share things, because my word tells me that we're supposed to do greater works. And how can we pass these greater works on if we're not putting it in writing and putting it down where it can be archived and where people can see it? Because the Bible is the Bible. It's not going to change. And people are not going to be able to see the great things that we've done as believers if we don't put it in writing. So I'm grateful for individuals like yourself and a lot of the authors that's going to be stopping through on today, and the fact that you guys would come on and share and be a part of this. I thank you.
No,
How can individuals, how can they support you? How can they follow your platform and get to know you a little more?
Thank you. I am on, I guess, most of the popular social media platforms, from Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and I'm even on TikTok now. So most of the contact would be GB Lynch, author, or just GB Lynch. But most of the time, GB Lynch, author. Just search that way and you should be able to find me. And I am responsive as far as, if you leave messages or, try to contact me, I will respond.
Do you have a website?
The other way I do.
I look like something's going on. I don't know. Is she froze? But it looked like she froze up on us. I know she was having some technical difficulties before we came on, and it froze up on us. I don't know what happened. I tell you, the enemy always lurking. He always lurking. But you know what? We don't stop over here. Everybody that know me know I keep on pushing. If we got to go out and come back in, if we get whatever we got to do, that's what we do over here, because enemy ain't got no room. But I was asking if you had a website.
Yes, I do. I have a website. It's GB Lynch on .wix.com/GB Lynch author. I have a speaker website too, but it's under development right now, because I do have a lot of speaking engagements that are coming up. One that is sponsored through the Black Speakers Network. That's actually, it starts next week on the 7th, but my series, I believe, is on the 22nd with like 7 other phenomenal, we're all keynote speakers. So when I post that. I think I already posted it, but if you could, please tune into that as well.
Well, make sure you share the links in the comment in the comment sections when you go down. You can share the links in the comment sections, and I'll make sure to share them out.
I think it's phenomenal.
I don't know what's going on with this technology, but the devil is a lie.
Thank you. Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, but it keep freezing. And it may not be doing it to the audience. It may just be doing it inside the studio. They may not see all this, but the devil is a lie. He will not stop us from speaking on the day. He don't like for us to speak our truth.
No,
every time when it comes to us brown people, it's like something always want to stop us, but the devil is a lie. The devil is a lie. I definitely want to thank you for sacrificing and stopping by on today and sharing with me. I truly count it an honor and a privilege to be able to have you here today. Is there anything that you would like to share before you leave?
Keep it going.
It just ain't gonna let you do right.
Yeah, he's having a moment today.
But it's okay. It's okay, because it's going to be plenty more opportunities for you to come back and share. He just don't know you part of the 122 author movement. So you can stop by anytime you want to. He failed to realize he better tap on in and find out what's going on over here. Since he want to come over here and try to distract some stuff. He can't stop nothing over here. Can't stop nothing over here. I'm in 5 a.m. prayer. He can't stop nothing over here. I believe my word. So he might as well keep on trucking, go on to the next house. Because this house ain't having it. This house ain't having it. But I definitely want to thank you for stopping by and sharing with me on today. I don't have anyone after you, so we can talk as long as we want to. But I know you probably got to go. But I appreciate you.
Just prepare a couple of things for I have a book signing that's I believe on the 18th. So I was just going to go and get a couple of things. I don't like to be last minute, you know.
Amen. Amen. I know that's right. We got to be intentional. That's my word, intentional. We got to be intentional about those things that he's called us to. So that means we got to move. But I thank you for taking time to stop by and share with us on today. I truly appreciate it. I pray that your evening is blessed. I'll see you later.
All right. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon.
You too. You too.
Okay. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
I tell you, the enemy be busy, but y'all know I don't stop. Y'all know it's always something with this internet and these different connections. We don't have another speaker, author that's supposed to be on just yet, but I do have some authors backstage. They just popped on in before they time, but because they there, guess what? I'm gonna bring all 3 of them up on the stage so we can chat. Y'all know this is what I like to do. So I'm about to bring them all 3 up here. Yep, I saw y'all back there. So since y'all came on in the room, I said let me bring them on the stage. Since they want to come in the backstage, I said let me bring them on in. How y'all doing today?
I'm doing good. Was I supposed to come on a certain time?
You come on at 3:30. We live, so it don't even matter. This is a takeover all day. You signed up for 3:30, but it's all good. I'm here to share and to let people that want to share to come on and share about their books. This is African American History, Black History Month, and we are taking the opportunity to share authors across the platform, and that's what we're doing. So I had JB Lynch on. I don't have another author scheduled to come on until 1:15. And she was just on, but she jumped off, but she'll be back. So I got y'all on. Y'all was scheduled to come on at 3 and 3:30. But it don't matter. We here. Y'all, guess what I got today? Since y'all are a part of it, guess what I got today?
What? All right now. All right. That's what I'm talking about.
So this is the 8x10, and this is the 6x9.
All right.
So the 6x9 is color.
Woo.
And the 8x10 is black and white.
Okay.
254 pages of the Word of God, scriptures, and affirmations.
Okie dokie.
All done by us.
All right now. That's wonderful.
And we are once again in 121 days of prayer. So, since I got you on here, I want you to share just a little bit about who you are.
Okay. Well, I am Apostle Tamla Lucas, and my ministry is called Come Home, Stop Talking About It. People say, where did you get that from? I said, I lay out before God. I said, because my pastor at the time, she said, what is your name of your ministry? I said, I don't know. So I lay out before God, and I said, what is my mission? My mission is to go and get those who are lost, those who think that, God has forsaken them, that God don't care about them. Because when I was growing up, when people committed a sin, the pastors, they just sent them to hell. They didn't say repent. They didn't say nothing. They just say you're going to hell, and that's it. And people would leave the church and didn't come back. And so that's where I got come home. So, the Bible said we all have sinned and come short of his glory. All, ALL. And so I'm letting people know, hey, yeah, you got shortcomings. You probably did something you had no business doing, but guess what? God still loves you. And you have a chance. As long as you got breath in your body, you have chance to come back to the Lord, get yourself together, and don't worry about saying this and that, because a lot of people, they so quick, hi Travita, they so quick to condemn you. They so quick to say, well, you this and that, but they won't lift you up. They quick to kick you down. We look at different celebrities. As soon as they make a mistake, you see all their haters coming, kicking them while they down. Why you can't lift them up? Why we can't lift each other up? So that's where come home, stop talking about. We ain't gonna talk about your past. You did it. So let it go and let's keep it moving. Come home, stop talking about. So in that ministry, I'm able to travel. I'm free. I have Bible study in people's houses, Bible study in the church, and it's amazing how God just be using people if you want to be used. Because when I travel, sometimes I just be going to visit people churches, right? And somebody will go tell the pastor, yeah, there's a pastor in the house. And they have me up there in that pulpit preaching. I'll be like, I ain't come here to preach. I can't hear to visit, But God, that's how God do. He's awesome like that. He will use you, and you don't even know. You like, I'm just coming here to visit. But God is awesome. I have met a lot of people after in my 40s. Isn't that amazing? Sometimes we think if we from 1 to 40, we supposed to hurry up and do this. But sometimes God don't move like really in your life until you in your 40s, and then he just start going like this.
Boy, who you telling?
Woo,
I'm telling you, that's
Glory
been my thing. That has been me. I'm about to be 48, and it seemed like he just started moving them out. He just started connecting me with people left and right. And I'm like, well, where all these people was at when I needed them, when I was coming up, when I was going through? Why I couldn't meet them 20 years ago? And I probably wouldn't have went down that road, but I had to go. That had to be my journey so that I could be here today. Mm-hmm. So I'm thankful. But I tell you, just like you said, every day it seemed like God just keep opening the door, keep placing people in my life. And just I'm just at awe. Like some days I'll be like, I was just talking to my godmama yesterday, and I was telling her about I had a conference with my teacher. Y'all, I thought I was going to get in trouble. I had to have a one-on-one with my teacher, right? So I go over there, find out my teacher is actually an author. And she told me I was an amazing writer. But the only thing the problem was I was citing my textbook, because she told us we had to use our textbook as a reference. So I was citing it, but I wasn't using anything out of it.
Lord.
But I was citing my other stuff right. It was right, but I was using it as a reference and wasn't citing nothing out of it. She told me, she said, I don't see where you use anything out of your textbook. She said, yes, no. So I was getting points off, but y'all, I still managed to have an A. I was getting points off my discussion because I wasn't doing the right citations. I wasn't including citations in there. So I had to go back. She said, and she told me, she said she's going to let me redo them. So now I just got to go back and add a sentence out of the book that incorporate into what I was talking about or whatever. She said that's their way of really making sure that we grasp the context and grasp the material that they're going over, is that we can take the textbook concepts and apply them to our everyday concepts. Because I was telling her, I said, this is about, I wrote about my job. This is about experience that I had on my job. I said, this is what actually happened. She was like, okay, but you referenced the textbook as your reference. I say, well, I didn't know. I said, you say we had to use it as a source. I say, because I read it, I thought I had to use it because I read it. She said, but you didn't quote anything. You didn't quote anything. She said you didn't use anything out of it. So she said you did have to use it as a reference. She said, but you have to use it as a reference. So I got to go back and pull a sentence and pull it. So y'all, I'm like, okay. But yeah, I tell you, it's just been. I thank God for these experiences and this change, because He gave me a second chance. He gave me a second chance to go back to school. He gave me a second chance at life. You know, I shouldn't even be sitting here, shot point blank range with a sawed-off shotgun 9 years ago, and the enemy was trying to take me out. But God saw fit to raise me up off my bed of affliction, and He gave me this. He gave me books,
yeah,
to be able to express, and through that, I've been able to meet so many amazing people, and it has gave me an opportunity to collaborate. I don't know who spoke that over my life, but someone spoke that over my life, and they started calling me the queen of collaboration, and I was like, really? And then it just grew on me. I said, well, I gotta be that. I gotta be that. So it's just something that people just started calling me. So I just had to be that. and knowing that I love to collaborate because I have a heart for people, you know, and I used to be that person that people used to look at me and walk past me and be scared to speak and scared to talk to me because I carried a mean look on my face, a nonchalant look, like, don't talk to me, don't breathe over here, don't look over here, don't, like, I had up this wall, like, I didn't want to be bothered, like, and it goes back to a lot of things from my childhood. Like when I lost my mom 12 days after my 16th birthday, losing my mom, everything in this world was like, I was mad. I was even mad at God, like, because I asked Him to take me instead of my mama. So I was really upset with Him. So I just built up this wall, and then breaking down that wall and sitting in a gym one day with these Deltas, these ladies from Delta Sigma Theta, and they had this sleeping. I was at Morris Brown College. I played basketball, so everybody really knew me because I was an athlete. So they knew who I was. So they had this thing, and we were all down there, and it was a circle, and we had to go around, introduce ourselves, and say something about ourselves or whatever. And everybody was just sitting there, just looking like nobody wanted first. So I said, I'll go. And I started telling everybody about me, and I started laughing. I was like, well, I'm that person that y'all see on the yard and y'all don't want to speak to because y'all don't know if I'm going to snap at y'all or if I'm going to be nice today or whatever. And everybody started laughing. So that like broke the ice for the thing. And they was like, yeah, Angela, yeah, we do. We be scared. We don't know if you gonna say hey, or if you gonna jump down our throat, or you gonna bite our head off. So we just don't say nothing. And some of them say they just do like this and keep on. And I noticed that people they'll just do like this, like they scared to wave. Like, I'm like, why they doing waving like that? But I really started to realize that I'm giving out this. So if I'm giving this out, then I'm gonna get it back. So I had to realize that I have to give out that I want to receive. If I want to receive love, I gotta give off love. I can't be mean and think that somebody's gonna love me. How? So I tell you, this journey has not been easy, but God has placed people like you guys in my life, and all of these amazing people that shared inside of this book. Like 21 of us was in prayer last year for 121 days. And then 61 people decided to share affirmations. They decided to speak over somebody's life and to share things that have worked in their life. I truly believe in power of the tongue, and that word power. When he dropped that word power in my spirit, it's been 4 years ago that he dropped that word power in my spirit. And he said that he will position you, because you are an overcomer, by being a willing vessel to educate, empower, and encourage others through your resilience. He said, it's not by chance that you're here. He said, know the power that's on the inside of you. Like that thing was just ringing in my spirit. Like, know the power that's on the inside of you. So I just couldn't stop telling people. I just couldn't stop sharing that word power. I couldn't stop sharing that word life, because we think we living, but really, what does that word life mean to you? What does it mean? Like, are you loving? Are you showing love? Are you inspiring somebody? Do you truly have the fear of God? And are you educating, empowering, encouraging? That what was laid in my spirit. I tell you, I can't stop. And I get on here and I get to talking, and I can't stop talking because I can't stop from his goodness, because he's been too good to me, because I shouldn't be here. But I'm going to move on out the way, because my sister is here. My little sister is here, Travita. And I tell you, I'm so proud of this young lady. I met her, it's been 2 years ago now. And when I tell you, she will step outside her box, her comfort zone, because she's a faith walker. She is a true faith walker, and she'll say she's scared to do this, or she don't know about doing this, and the next thing you know, she's doing it. Next thing you know, she's doing it. So I'm excited to have her here with us on today. I'm gonna stop talking and let her share a little bit about herself, and then I'm gonna bring our next guest on, our next author on. She's not scheduled to be on until 1:15, but you know what? She early, and you know what? I'm gonna let her share because she early. And y'all, she reached out. She wants to share. She reached out to me early this morning. You know what the word told us, Pastor Tamla, Apostle Tamla, if we seek him early, we would find him. She seeked out early and got her a position on this. Yeah, my phone. That's my phone. I'm sorry. That was my phone ringing. She stepped out on faith, and she was out this morning, and she was like, she said, I want to get a ad in the magazine. And I said, well, what you doing later on? And told her, she said she wasn't doing nothing. I said, well, come on over here. Share today and be a part of this. See, when you be, he said he would do what with that gift, Pastor Tamala? What he say he'll do with that gift?
He'll make room, honey. Make room, honey.
Okay, honey, he'll make room for you. And that's what he did. So I'm gonna let you share, and then we're gonna move out the way, and we're gonna make room for her. Because you know what? Pastor Tamala, guess where she from?
Where?
Up in your area, girl. What? See how he do that thing.
What you say?
See how he do that thing.
What?
Okay. Travita, introduce yourself and share a little bit, and then we're gonna bring up our next author.
Okay. Well, good afternoon, everybody. I am Travita Harris, and I am from Spartanburg, South Carolina. I am a author, a mother of three, and a grandmother of one for the very first time. I met Miss Angela, Lord, 2 years ago doing a virtual monologue play. And when I tell y'all, I had no idea what I was doing. The part that I had originally had no speaking parts, no anything in it. And I was asked to extend the part for 5 minutes. And I had no idea what I was going to do, didn't know where to start. So I went to the person I know to go to for any and everything. And I said, God, what am I going to do? What can I do to extend this part? Because I don't know. It wasn't a speaking part. It was just an acting part. So I went to him. I said, God, okay, let's just do what we normally do. As I get ready for work, let's just make this into a little skit. So that's basically what I did to stretch myself outside of my comfort zone. As Miss Angela did tell y'all, I am very quick to tell you that I'm shy on speaking and doing anything, but I will step outside of my comfort zone because I always go to God and say, listen, I need to get out of here. But how do I do it? I let him lead and I just follow. So that's what I did when I became an author. I stepped out on faith. I said, God, listen, I don't know how to do this, but Kiari and having a stroke has taught me a lot of things, and I've overcome all of that. So when I first did it, I was like, God, I started the journey for writing, and I got frustrated. I got so mad with my laptop. I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put this down before I end up throwing this thing across the room. Simply because I could not get the manuscript to upload like I wanted it to. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to put this away. So I put it away until January the 2nd of 2020. And my daughter had her wisdom teeth pulled earlier that morning. My boys told me, Ma, you going in your room. You're not coming out until you got some rest. I said, well, what am I supposed to do sitting in here all day? They said, we don't know, but figure it out. We'll bring you your food and everything else. Your bathroom in here, so you ain't got to come out this room for nothing. I said, all right, well, let's just go play with the laptop and see what happens. So I did that. I played around with the laptop. I picked 26 of my favorite poems that I've been writing for quite some time, and I put them all together. And I said, God, if this is where I'm supposed to go, then you'll make it so. So I hit send. You have to wait for a couple of days for them to approve your writing, and then that's where it landed me. So I have been there. The first one was my poetry, my peace, my soul release. The second book I wrote right after that was Struggle, Strength, and Success. Kiari Malformation Will Not Win. And my third one that I just wrote not too long ago, which was last year, was Overcoming Childhood Trauma. And I'm working on a fourth one, which is God Never Counted Me Out. So I got a few little things that I have been working on, and I am part of this amazing group of women and their podcast, and mine is coming up this Sunday, which is tomorrow. I'm a little nervous about it, but as y'all can see, y'all probably don't believe anything about me being nervous at all, because as you can see, I talk a lot. But I am very, very shy when it comes to this kind of stuff. But God has never failed me, and I am grateful for that. But that's it.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. Yes, I am super, super excited. She launched her very first show on tomorrow. She is one of the amazing hosts. A part of The Crew is what we call it. It's The Crew Podcast and Media Network. So I'm excited. It is Apostle Tamla Lucas, Hezekiah Morris, and myself. We decided to come together because we all were doing different things and doing some of the same things, but in our different lanes and on our different platforms. So I say, you know what, we always talk about collaborating. We always talk about partnering. We always talk about how we should come together and how everybody perceives us as not being able to work together. I say, you know what, we need to come on and do this thing. And they kept, saying, "Come on, let's work." And Apostle, we don't try to come together on the publishing thing. Like we don't been trying to get this thing together for a minute. And I said, I'm about to sit here and I'm about to figure out something. And then I just went through. I pretty much just I kind of pushed them into it. I kind of like I really want to. I don't want to say I tricked them into it because I ain't tricking, but I kind of pushed them. I kind of say, y'all, come on, I already got this, and we got 5 people.
Listen, I know your art of persuasion, so I know what you did.
But let me tell you one thing about me. If I see that you have any inkling, I don't care if it's just a little pinky. If I see a nudge of something, don't let me see it. Because if you let me see a nudge or something, and you come around me and you keep on, I'm gonna keep nudging you until that nudge become a finger, until it become a hand, and then it's gonna start growing arm, and then it's gonna fill up into the body.
Exactly.
And it just gonna fall into place. I'm just like, if I see something in somebody, I just have been. People say I should have been a school teacher. Somebody actually, but I've always, as a child, I always was the teacher. So I guess that's just something that. But I never wanted to be a school teacher. But I've always been that teacher, that mother figure or whatever, because I know, y'all know I don't have kids. So the spirit kept telling people that I was gonna have kids, and I'm like, I'm gonna have 2 kids. I'm not 48 years old. I'm like, I don't know about kids now, but I don't. If God said, I don't know how they gonna come, but they say I'm gonna have 2 kids. Well, he said I'm gonna have 2 kids. I don't know how to teach them,
but you got plenty.
But exactly, I got plenty. I got plenty that call me mama, and I appreciate them for that. I got one baby girl stay in Texas, and she texts me, she inbox me, she calls me all the time to check on me, to make sure that I'm okay. And I met her right here on social media. And she's been just that to me. And I come across a couple of people like that. They always, there's some boys and girls over there in Africa, some young men and women over there in Africa always calling me mommy. But they always looking for a mother figure. And I'm glad that somebody can see something in me that they would call me mom or want to be called my daughter or my son. So I'm grateful for that. But I'm just grateful for these platforms and this opportunity to be able to share. I tell you, I have truly enjoyed training you guys and helping you guys to learn about podcasting and the things that y'all are doing over there. So I'm excited to just see how God used y'all in that arena. But yeah, I'm not going to keep talking. I think our guest that was here early, she said she was having some technical difficulties. I told you the enemy just be busy. He just don't like to see greatness, and he just gonna have to get used to it because he might start seeing us just popping in and out anytime we feel like it. Because I'm to the point to now where I just want people to know that, hey, I'm Black and I'm proud. I'm Black and I'm proud. Well, since we on here and our guest jumped off, I really want to talk about it's Black History Month. It ain't all just about books, but this is an avenue. I want to talk about the Memphis 5. I want to talk about the Tyre Nichols case. Mm-hmm. And I really want to get your opinion as a mother. Both of y'all are mothers of boys. And I truly want to get your opinion and your feeling about that case.
Number one, it breaks my heart just to even have to be talking about this, because that young man had his whole entire life. Whatever animosity that they had for him, they could have handled it in a better way than they did. And they let their own emotions get the best of them. And it ended up taking this young man's life. Now, I haven't heard any bad things said about the young man or anything like that. And it's like he was out doing what he normally does, and they were having a bad day, but their bad day resulted in a nightmare for everybody. And I have 2 young boys. I can't really say they're young because they're in their early 20s now. But I'm fearful because at any moment it could be my child. It could even be my daughter, and it's all because skin color. But at the same time, as we've all heard the old saying, everybody that is skinfolk ain't your kinfolk, And what hatred and what animosity did this young man cause to any one of them? And that question can yet to be answered because they really don't have an answer to justify how they treated this young man and how they took his life for nothing,
And I want to say something because as I've been looking at this case, and I actually went and Googled these individuals and did like some background on them. So Haley, who was also, I think he was the Omega. He was one of the Omegas. And I'm glad that Omega stood up and took their membership, because that man should have been prosecuted from when he did this over in Shelby County Correction Facility. But because, and this is what they do, because I work with people that are incarcerated right now. I'm working with some authors and trying to share some stories of some individuals that's incarcerated right now. So I know what these people do because I know what they're doing down there to them. But they beat on folks, they do all this stuff, and then they take these people's stuff, and then they tell them they got a certain amount of time that they got to do this. If they don't do it in a certain amount of time, they ain't gonna be able to do it. So the man got him and them other correctional officer got off because the guy wanted to defend himself, and because he didn't have a lawyer and he was defending himself, he missed a lot of the deadlines and a lot of the stuff that was supposed to happen. So he got off. So that wasn't even noted on his record. He shouldn't have never been hired with the Memphis Police Department. If they had to put it on his record as a disciplinary action, he would have not, man, I'm telling you, I used to be a correction officer. I worked over there in South Fulton Correctional Facility in Union City. I quit. And right after I quit, the same crap happened over there in that facility that these people, but they just didn't go that far. And I'm glad I quit, because guess what? Even though I wasn't involved in the mess, I probably would have been caught up in it somehow because I was new and didn't know what I was doing. So I'm glad I quit. But I know what these people do. And I know how some of these bad officers, because all the officers are not good cops. I know how these bad cops are. Because guess what? I dealt with cops. Not only did I used to work at City Hall East in Atlanta, I dated 2 cops. So I know what they do. I know how they are. Before I moved to Myrtle Beach, Zone 3, yeah, y'all are corrupt. Zone 3 in Atlanta is corrupt. Because I can tell you, and I can run off their names if I wanted to. And they know they are. But it's a lot of people. It's a lot of officers like that. They striving for approval and acceptance. That's what they want. Because you got that 24-year-old. He was flipping burgers. He was working at the shoe place. He worked at a burger place, and then he worked at a shoe place. He never really worked at a place like that. So now he got this position. And then they brought them in. They was out in what they call the Special Force Unit Scorpion. They was out in what's the name? In Atlanta, it's like the Red Dogs. I don't know what they call them. I guess it would be I don't know what they call them up in Greenville, but in Atlanta they call them Red Dogs, and they the ones that go out and they do like gang enforcement, drugs, and all of that. So that's what they were. So just imagine if my mind ain't right and I'm coming in here, I'm going out there really already thinking I am somebody and being and going out there bullying these people because I got a badge. Now where I supposed to have been serving and protecting, I'm out here taking advantage because you over there messing with my baby mama. I can throw my badge around. Y'all not together. You got a whole nother life over here. Now how's you finna explain? You got a wife, remember? So how's you explaining? I'm trying to figure out that they want to say it because he was messing, the boy was messing with, but his daddy said that's not the case. He said they just worked together. He was not in no relationship with her, was not dating her. Said that she just happened to be on the job. I said, and so I'm thinking now, so really, ain't nobody talking, but you can read between the lines and you can see if you I'm from the streets. People may not think that, but I'm from the streets. I know. I don't been in the streets in Anderson and I don't been in the streets in Atlanta. So I know how they operate and I see what people be doing. And then when you know been on the other side, you know how the people behind on the other side operate too. Because then you got these correction officers. They think that they somebody. You ain't even got no gun. Now when you walk outside this place, you ain't even got these bars to protect you. But when you get on the outside of this place, while you treating people the way you treating them behind these walls, you get on the other side. You got to remember they got family on the outside. All of them ain't locked up. People don't realize that. But then some of us, we get family members that get incarcerated or whatever the case may be, we forget about them. Like they out of sight, out of mind. Like really, out of sight, out of mind. Like I'm helping an individual tell his story now and sharing his story. This man has been incarcerated for 37 years, wrongfully incarcerated for 37 years. And these people have manipulated the system. They have used the system and they have kept this man in prison for 37 years when he have documentation. Now, let me tell you what's holding him up right now. If I had $500, I would go to Texas and pay that $500 so that man could get out. But paperwork holding him up now. And $500, and family, you got family that won't come up with $500 to file the paperwork that could free this man. That could free this man and can put some of them people behind bars. Because when I tell you, when justice finally come for him, man, the state of Texas is gonna be in some hot water because this man got a $55 million lawsuit against the state of Texas and the hospital system because they tried to kill him. I'm telling his story. I'm getting his story out. I'm trying to get somebody to do a documentary. We're gonna write a book. I'm getting his story out there. Because they pumped that man with fluid. They took him to the hospital. Not only that, they pulled all his teeth out. Because he needed 2 teeth fixed. And they told him in order for him to get the teeth fixed, they had to pull all his teeth out. How about this man been waiting for his teeth for over 6 months? He walking around. So why you pull his teeth out? And then now he ain't got no teeth. How is this man supposed to eat? This is what they do. So guess how much weight the man don't lost? That's what they do. And then you talk about, I just have to talk. I got to talk about this thing because my friend said her son, she hadn't talked to her son in over a month. He hadn't called. So she said she was concerned. So she called to the prison. No, and then she went down there. So when she get down there for the visit, he come out with one shoe on. Hair matted down to his head. Clothes looking like, she said they didn't look like her baby. They didn't look like her child. And then come to find out, she said during the visit, He was just talking and just saying out the wall stuff. So how long this baby been having mental issues and y'all just been letting this baby sit like that? That it could being in a place like that can do that to somebody. And then the way they treat people, if you not a strong individual, you can break. Because they try to dehumanize you. That's their job. That's what these people go. Every day they go to work and with plans of dehumanizing, because you don't have to do that. I was a correction officer. I know you don't have to do some of the things that these people be doing. I wanted to get home every day. So you know what I did? I was nice to those folks because I didn't want them to do nothing to me so I can make it home. But people don't see it like that. They feel like they got to go in there and be big, bad bullies with badges because these people made a mistake. Now tell the truth, let the truth be told. A lot of us made mistakes, but we just didn't get caught. Let the truth be told. It's a lot of us that should be behind those prison walls, but we didn't get caught. It is a lot of us that think we got it going on, that if we just step the wrong way, they coming for you. Especially if you in this color. They don't care who you is. Modern day slavery is what they doing. You pay people $6 and $7 every 2 weeks to go and produce stuff that we use on the outside, but they acting like it come from somewhere else when it's coming from the prison systems. A lot of stuff that we use coming out these prison systems. And we thinking they coming out of factories and out of stuff. And then not only that, they would allow the prisoners to leave the prison to go work in the factories. Where people making $18 and $20 and $21 an hour, they making 2 cents, 3 cents, 4 cents. Where is that right? But we built on we built on we trust God. That's what our money say. In God we trust. What God do they trust in their own God? Because it sure ain't my God. It ain't the God that I serve. It ain't the God that I read about. It ain't the God that speaks to me. Because that God that speaks to me, he don't speak on nothing but love. I don't know what's wrong with people. Like, I don't. Like, I don't get it. Apostle, what you got to say?
Girl, you got to understand this stuff is deep. It's deeper than that, because the hatred of your own kind comes from Africa, and that spirit is still there in Africa, where they don't like the dark-skinned people, they don't like the light-skinned people, they don't like the people with the wide nose, they don't like the people. They find y'all all black over there. But
that's how we ended up here.
They still doing genocide.
They sold us.
Spirit that spirit from Africa is here. That's why you look at the different communities and say, why do you self-hate yourself? Why do you hate your brother? We all struggle. We all trying to make it out. We all trying to build and be something. Why can't we just work together and build something? We can't, because we rather have a crab spirit and pull you down. Soon as you think somebody's gonna do better than you, let me tear you down. I'm gonna ruin your reputation. I'm gonna talk about you. I'm gonna destroy you. I'm gonna do whatever I can to make sure no one touch you or look at you or help you. And that spirit came from Africa. And a lot of people get mad because they say, well, so-and-so went there and stole don't you know some of our kings and queens sold us? They sold us.
They sold us. That is a proven. It's been proven. It's been proven that we were sold by kings and queens. Because guess what? They had power. They had rule. Do you think they were just finna go in there and just take something from somebody?
Right.
No, they powerful. They sold us.
Sure
So when
did.
these folks be coming in my inbox, nah, y'all going through going through because of what you did. Like I really don't have. I used to have a lot of sympathy for Africa, but I realized that the struggles that they have are the same struggles that go around all four corners of this earth. Ain't nothing no different. They all, because if you look at it, there's some places in Africa, ain't no struggle. They show us what they want to show us, and then they want us to get this picture, and then they want us to have this picture. If you want to do something, you can do it. Well, there's a will, there's a way. If you want to come up out them slums, you can come up out them slums, because there's been people in Africa that's done it. And there's places you want to live in this place, you can move to that another place. You don't want to be in this area, you can move to another area. Africa is one of the largest continents in this world.
The largest and richest. And
so
now,
I don't have that sympathy that I used to have. I don't have it no more. Not the way that I have it. What I have for people right now is get up and allow him to stir up those gifts that's on the inside of you. That's how when these scammers be coming in my inbox and all these people be coming in my inbox, I say, this that you're doing right now, I say, baby, you can take that and you can do something positive and do something right, and you'll be blessed, and you won't have to be around here trying to scheme people, talking about you hungry. You got enough sense to try to scheme people, then you should have enough sense to try to do something right with it, and then it might be blessed.
Right.
But that's what we do.
The worst thing I can't stand is how we can't stand our own people. I can't stand that. It's like all the other cultures, they get along, they work together, but we will peel the skin off of each other. It's like, why you self-hate your own people? Like what's the purpose? Don't we already got enough to fight with? We already got enough to deal with. And then I got to look on my shoulder because I don't know if you on my side or not. I mean, this don't make no sense. This don't make any sense. And when I heard it, I said, first of all, like his mom said, he was a thin little person. He 150 pounds. One punch would have knocked him out. Okay? But to break his neck and his spine and his back and I know you can hear the bones crack. You had to go to a different level of evil. A different level of evil that you don't even see him as a human no more. Your mind is gone. So, and like you said, this should have been documented. I always say when police officers do something, they need their license taken away. Because, when you can get fired, you can get rehired. They don't need to be rehired. They need their license taken away so they cannot be a police officer either in a different county or a different state. They need to get their license taken away. And see, Angela was an officer. I went to school in criminal justice because they was trying to make me a police officer. But when I took the courses and all the classes, I was like, forget that. I mean, I talked
well, baby, Daddy, I'm gonna let you know right now. If you are certified and you are fired or let go from any well, I know in Georgia, I can't speak on Tennessee, but in the state of Georgia, if you are fired, let go, you cannot go work for no another what's the name, unless they don't change some stuff. You can't. You got to go through some. You got to go through some stuff to get on somewhere else. Because man, I'm telling you,
they don't have it in Ohio because these cops up here in Ohio, they kill people, go to the next county and they get rehired. So they don't have that up here.
Well, it's crazy because it takes forever for them to even to prosecute people or to do whatever, because you think about this 2019 case that they got down here in Atlanta against that guy that killed that black boy, and they let him retire. He got his pension, and then you come back in 2022 talking about you pressing charges. This man on the run now. This man probably in China somewhere. Because remind you, his name was a Wong Chong King. So he probably long gone. You probably never gonna see him again.
Wow.
And that's what they're doing. So I hope, like Crump the lawyer said, I hope that they are moving. This is gonna be an example, and this is gonna be the example going forward. That you're gonna move like this with all officer involved cases, not just these black officers, but all officer involved cases. Because they didn't move like
because we got a case now up here in Ohio going on right now where yeah. So we'll see.
It's always gonna be something.
Yeah.
Because that man, when I tell you, like the guest earlier was saying, you got to know your history. And you got to think about this, y'all. I took an English class. When I first came to Strayer, an English class, y'all. In an English class, I learned some history. Because they ain't talking about Black history no more. So I learned some history in the English class. I had to do my paper on when they first started, when slavery ended. What was that? The end of, oh my God, what's the name of that war? Civil War. The end of the Civil War, right before the NAACP and all of that was introduced. You got the guy, he was Black, but he looked white and he could pass for white. So he went undercover, and he was going undercover with the KKK and doing all kind of stuff. So he was able to expose a lot of stuff. And if you go back, it started way back when. Because when we come out of slavery, the first thing they did was they come with the housing. They want to offer the women housing. They want to offer the projects. They want to offer this. They want to offer that. And the first thing they tell you is the man can't come. If we gonna take care of you, the man can't come. Okay. So what is my man supposed to do? This is their dad. This is that was the first breakdown. So then they come on with the women's liberation, the women's right, and they was pushing hard for that because they knew if they pull the woman away from the Black man, what was going to happen? Just what happened. Told them the Black man is our soul. They don't understand that. And when they pull our Black men away from the home, the women had to go and do everything. Then that's when all the women think they got to be, no, you need to be a woman. You need to be a feminine woman like you supposed to. You ain't got the beat, no. So what? I don't care if I can't, don't give me no job with them. I don't want to compete with them. I don't care. No, I ain't got to make the same thing they make. I don't got to do all that. If we had took our rightful place and stood for being a woman as a woman and not having to be a woman to stand beside a man and be equal to a man, why we got to be equal to them? We ain't them. Why we can't be who we are? Why we can't be the woman and let the man be the man? Why we got to be equal to them? We can't, we'll never be. Just like all these people walk around talking about their God. They want to be equal to God. How you going to be equal to? He said he made you in his image. He didn't make you him. He didn't clone you. He said, I in his image. And when I looked that word up, image say likeness. Didn't say you was him. It said likeness. So that means you're similar. You got attributes. You got something that coincide with, but you're not him. I'm talking about folks getting bold. They don't start tattooing it on their arms, on their chest. They tattooing it everywhere. I am God. Yeah, okay. You're going straight to hell. Feel that fear. I want you to dream about that and feel how that's gonna feel. Now, you let these movies fool you if you want to. You let these movies trick you into thinking that it ain't gonna be hot fire, rims of hot fire, and it's gonna be burning, and you just gonna, yeah, okay. You think these summers are hot? Okay. Okay. Keep on. But they did that. And then they started, people don't understand what the police was all about. Police was to keep us captive. They was to keep us from breaking loose. They didn't want us to break loose. And they was to shoot to kill. If we ran, it shoot to kill. And a lot of these folks don't kept that. That thing came on down. It trickled on down through the families. And then the white boys, that all of them, my daddy was, my granddaddy was a police. So everybody in their family police. Come on down. That redneck, come on down. That prejudice just came on down, just came on down. Then what got me was all of them was out there doing it together. How the white boy get arrested later? How he didn't get arrested when the black people got arrested? How he get arrested later? When all of them was out there together. Like if you saw the videos, like these videos was like, they were just out there just comfortable. Like it was just a normal thing that they did. So it really makes me think that, hey, they've been doing this. This is what they do. And they just like, it went too far and they couldn't come back. That's what I think. What you think?
It was normal for them. That's normal for them. And they got to the point they didn't care. It was cameras everywhere. They had body cameras and it was cameras all around the street. Yeah. And they didn't even care. So that's normal for them. I guess they thought no one was going to say anything. That's what they thought.
No, what they probably thought was they weren't going to beat him that much to where he was going. Because even after they did this, they said they was bragging about it.
Yep.
They said they were hee-hee and ha-haing about it. Like they didn't really think that they had did what they did. Like they must didn't think that they had did as much damage as they did. So I'm like, they did this once, y'all. They've been doing this. This ain't no happenstance.
That's right.
This is something that they've been doing, and they just got caught, and it just got out of hand. Because can you tell me? I know they had to be out there for a while. And then they was talking about how it was just a lot. I mean, I seen videos and it looked like a lot of cars and a lot of commotion out there. So I know people was riding by. So I know 911 was getting calls. And what they was telling them, they already received a call. And because that's what they tell you when you call, when you just passing by and you just want to report something that you see happening. They say, oh, we already received a call. So how many calls did y'all receive about this? Because I know people rode past and saw this because you in the open street.
They said the ambulance came and they sat there and looked at the boy for 23 minutes before they took him to the hospital.
Yeah, they got fired too. Yeah, they got fired too. But before they got there, like it shouldn't. How long did it take them to get there? And then you're gonna wait 23 minutes. So what? How long that was? Because how long was it before they even called?
Yeah.
And how long did they wait to call? Who called?
Right.
Because I'm looking at a lot of people walking. I'm talking about people were walking around like they was walking around, and they was just like, it was a lot of people out there. It wasn't no just them 5. It was more than them 5. It was more than them 5.
I didn't watch the video because I
watched some. I took and made some reels off of them. I watched some of it. 2 of some of it I watched. But I didn't see no close up. It was not close up. You know, it had to been it had to been somebody walking around in one of them, and then one of them had to be what's her name, because you could see like all up in here, and then it was like they was going from different angles to different angles. So I'm like, okay, this is real up close and personal. Like I'm like, is this? Because I was wondering if it was an officer or if it was a bystander that was recording this. because it was just a lot of stuff. And then like you would see them, they'd be walking around and doing all that. And I'm like, and this man over here died.
I stopped watching those videos after that boy in Chicago. He was running down the street and they shot him, 16 times, 20 times. They shot him down. They knew he was down, but they just kept on shooting him. I said, I can't do this no more. So I don't watch those videos no more. I don't watch them anymore. And my job, when I was working at this one place, they was like, why you late? I said, I got pulled over. They said, pull over for what? I said, for being black. And, you know, my white friends, they said, girl, you lying. I said, sweetheart, when you're in certain neighborhoods, you don't have to do anything. They will pull you over because you're driving black. And I said, they asked for my license. They asked for my registration. They didn't have anything. They let me go. But it was the thought, I can pull you over. And they actually do that. They say, yeah. So they don't even believe that. They don't even believe that's real.
Like I be watching these officers and stuff, like when you be riding beside them and stuff like that. You see that. I was looking one day, I was like, he gonna stop that Charger. He had tinted windows. I said, he gonna stop him. He was looking at the rims, and then he rode beside him for a little while, and I could see they were black. I said, oh, he finna stop him. Now, remind you, the white person that was driving the Charger that zoomed past kept on going. Now, both of them was probably racing, was what they was probably doing. But the white one, the white guy kept on going, and he get right behind the black guy. And rides behind him for a little while, long enough to do his run his tag. So I'm like, why is he riding behind him like that? And then my friend say, oh, he just running his tag. He said he running his tag to see if he black. And then once he verify he black, he finna pull him over. And as soon as he got that out his mouth, he pulled him over. I said, so I had already, because and down here they got them tag readers. So I said he must have did the tag reader on the white guy and it popped up real quick, but he had to type in the other one, and that's what took him so long. But he pulled that black boy over, and we went where we was coming. We went up and got us some food at the fast food restaurant. Come through the drive-through, come back down. They another cop car and pulled up on him. Why? Because he driving a Charger.
Mm-hmm.
Don't drive no nice car. Please don't drive no nice car down here. And don't have no out of state tag. You come down here to Myrtle Beach, you better don't have no out of state tag and do something wrong. You better drive the speed limit. If it say 35, you better go 35. I'm telling you, you come to Myrtle Beach if you want to, and if you got a nice car, they gonna swear you got some drugs in there. They gonna swear they smell something that won't smell nothing. They gonna do something to try to hem you up. I'm telling you, I see it too often. Even when they have these they have two. I'm in Myrtle Beach, y'all, so they have two bike shows. So they have what they call the White People Bike Week, and then they have what they call the Black People Bike Week. So remind you, the White People Bike Week is 2 weeks. These people can come down here and do whatever they want to. They can ain't no streets blocked off. I'm talking about they be having parties in the street, up and down the road. But when the black people come, you can't. They got the whole street blocked off. And the only way you can go, you got to walk. You can walk up, and they got one lane of traffic where you can drive. They make you walk. You got to get out your car. You got to park your car, and you got to walk if you're going to go up in that area. And so I don't even go up that way. I don't even go up that way. And then what they did, they say they moved. Myrtle Beach say they don't condone the Black Bike Week and the White Bike Week. They don't condone them. So they say the White Bike Week moved somewhere else. But why, when they talk about having the White Bike Week, why I can't drive on the streets in Myrtle Beach? Why I can't do nothing? Because they always doing what they want to do. But when the black people come, the streets are blocked off. I can't even go up that way because everything blocked off and traffic be so. But the traffic don't be backed up with them, but they be all out there doing whatever they want to. I'm talking about you thinking these people having they doing parades and it's just traffic. You think they out there giving out something, but it's just traffic. The Harley place look like they having parties 24/7. But when the black people come, let it look like you about to have some fun. State troopers, I'm talking about. I said every state trooper.
You know what? That'd be a good video for you to videotape. So that'd be a historical.
Every state trooper in South Carolina be here for Black Bike Week, but when White Bike Week show up, you don't see none of that. I say where they was, and then let me tell you how these people is down here. And you think if you think you ain't living around prejudice, if you in South Carolina, honey, these people is prejudiced. He ain't went nowhere. We still in the 50s. And you go look at the laws on the books and see when the last time they made some new laws. When the last time they adjusted some laws to catch up with the time. They ain't. And they ain't trying to. But get in some trouble down here. You're going straight to jail. They're going to lock you up and throw away the key. This ain't no place for no black person. South Carolina is not no place for no black person. And I don't know how we ended up here. But that's where a lot of the slaves broke free at. This is where a lot of the slaves broke free at. This is where Harriet Tubman down there off the coast of Charleston set a lot of people free on going up through Monk's Corner and all up through that way. So you got to know what South Carolina is about. It'd be crazy. But my guest, she said she having technical issues, so I guess she's not coming back on because I don't talk 10 minutes into her time. Our next guest don't come on until 2:00. We got Justin Reeves coming on from 2:00. Do y'all want to share about y'all books since y'all are on?
Yeah. I don't mind sharing about mine. I'll talk some more. All right. As I said just a little while ago, this was my very first one. But most people really and truly don't know that there is an original copy of this. This was my second copy of this one. Like I told y'all, the very first leak that I took, it's a blue copy of this book. And so I went back and did some editing and stuff to it because it wasn't the way that I wanted it to be. And so I was teaching myself and learning this process because, as I said, I had a stroke and have Chiari malformation, it affects the brain. So I was like, let me go back and change some stuff. And I did this one again. So there's a blue copy versus the yellow copy, but the yellow copy is a little better. But I can still see my growth and everything with that one. And then this one is the second one, Struggle, Strength, and Success, Chiari Malformation Won't Win. And I taught myself how to do my own covers and how to set the margins and all of that stuff. So I taught myself a whole lot while having Chiari Malformation and just learning. And I had a lot of people who told me when I first did the first book that they would have never put their name on something that was not perfect. And I said, well, it wasn't your assignment. So I would assume that you wouldn't put your name on something that doesn't belong to you. I said, but he told me what to do, so I did it. I said, so it wasn't never intended to be perfect, because if it was perfect, I wouldn't be a learning tool. I said, so this has been a learning tool for me to get to where I am, and I'm an open vessel for him to use in any way that he sees fit. This one right here is Overcoming Childhood Trauma, My Journey to Healing. With this one, it sparked a whole lot of stuff for me in my journey to become a better person overall. And I say that because it allowed me to be able to apologize to my children in a way that I had never apologized to them before, because I've always spoken to my children to let me know if I've ever said or done anything that would cause them harm, because I can't fix anything that we don't acknowledge. However, what I learned is that they needed to see their mother being vulnerable. And that was not something that they got to see until probably about, I want to say maybe 4 years ago, where they got to see me, being a woman, so to speak, because my oldest son calls me Superwoman, because he's like, I don't know how you've been able to take care of us while you recovered from a stroke, while you recovered from not being able to speak and talk and do all these things. I've never known you to show any sense of vulnerability. So that was important, that my kids needed to see that. And so I was able to apologize to them, because I thought that I was protecting them, but in a sense, I was actually causing them some harm. And so I went to each one of them individually, and I apologized to them for that. But what I also learned along the journey of writing that book was that my mother could only do what she had been conditioned and learned to do. So with her telling me that she wished that I was dead, that she wished that she had never had me, was the same things that my mother grew up hearing over and over again many times. And then I grew up hearing that from my mother and also from my aunts who raised me. And that was, I was never going to amount to anything. I was going to make it to so nobody would ever want to do anything for me. So I learned to be dependent upon self. And so I struggled for a long time to ask for help. And people used to think that it was an ego thing, and it was never an ego thing, and it was never pride. It was the fact that I was told that I was never going to receive any help from anybody. So I just learned not to ask for it, because that was the way that I was conditioned. And so my dad, he didn't have a father growing up. And so with him not having a father growing up, he didn't know how to be a father. And so I had to understand that I had to forgive them, because they only knew what they knew, and they couldn't do anything about it until they were ready to. And so I learned to forgive my father. I learned to forgive my mama, because they only knew what they were conditioned to do, And so I let my dad know, and I let my mom know that I am the sum of both of you, and I am grateful that you were not in my life in the way that I wanted you to be at the time that I felt that I needed you, because had you been there, I would not be the woman that I am today, because I needed you to be in the presence of where you were so that I can be who I was destined to be, because had you been there, I would not be who I am. I had to learn everything in the capacity in which God was teaching me. And so I've always learned, and that's why I'm writing this other book, God Never Counted Me Out, because God has always been through everything with me, and he's always showed me everything that I needed to know, even though there were times I did question God, and I was like, listen, I don't know why you're taking me through this. I'm not as strong as you think I am. But what I learned in the midst of that, to stop, number one, praying for strength. I started to pray for understanding, because praying for strength, he was testing me in every single thing that he was sending me through. And I was like, God, look here, I ain't before 8. I can't be that strong, because I ain't that big. So stop testing me in that way. So I started praying for understanding, to know that everything he was taking me through was a lesson to equip me for the next level I needed to go through. And so when I started doing that and stopped questioning him and started learning how to mind my own business, it was okay. I became better at understanding. So anytime I go through anything now, it's like, okay, what is it that you're trying to teach me so that I can get to where you're trying to take me? And so that's basically what I do now. What is it that you're trying to teach me so that you can take me where I need to go? Because otherwise, Lord have mercy, I have learned to mind my business, because He will tell you, look here, don't be coming over here asking me. You don't pray and ask me about something. Let me go handle my business. If I need you, I'll come get you. But otherwise, go on, sit down. Don't be coming over here asking me 17 questions. Because I know I will. I'll go over there and be like, God, listen here, I need to talk to you about something. Trevita, go on over there and sit down. You minding my business. I don't need you over here. All right, Lord, but now I told you, go mind your business. Go and sit in your corner. I'll call you if I need you. So I have learned, God, I ain't going to mind your business. I'm going to do what I need to do over here. But I know eventually you're going to need me to be obedient. So I'm going to just be obedient. But I'm gonna ask them questions. You're going to put me on hold, but we coming back to it. It's all right.
I just love how you and God be having those conversations.
Listen, we be having them conversations. I'll be like, God, look here. He be like, Trevita, not today. I ain't got time for you and these foolishness. God, listen, I just got a couple of questions. I just want to know. And like, listen, I did a little reel video this year at the beginning of the year. I said, God, listen, I know I'm always going through trials and everything, but can you just tell me if I'm going to be on the short list or if I'm going to be on the long one of trials and tribulations this year? Because for me, I don't want to be on that long list. I'm short. Let me stay on the short list this year. I don't want to be over there with them that long list of stuff. Just give me a couple of things to get over. That's it.
I'm trying to be on the short list. I don't want to be on the tall list because I'm trying to be on the short list. I don't got look. Don't make me stand tall.
Listen,
let me have I want to be on the short list of trials and tribulations. Because I tell you, it seems like I've had my height worth of trials and tribulations. It seems like every year. So I don't want my height worth. I definitely don't want my height worth.
Exactly. I don't either. And I'm like, God, I ain't before 8. Stop sending me to the tall people section. I don't belong over there.
Sometimes I wish I was on the petite side. Because I'm telling you, I be going through it sometime, honey. I tell you.
Listen, I'm short. You made me condense for a reason. So why you keep putting me on this long list of folks? I don't want to be over there. Let me stay on the short side. I know what my limitations are. At least to some degree, I know what my limitations are. But you keep putting me over there. God, I told you, I ain't built for that. Can you just let me stay over here? And so that's what I called him up. But God, listen, can we talk about this for a minute? Let me know which lane I'm going to be in. Because I don't want to be over there this year. I want to be on the short list.
But how he been doing so far?
So far, I'm on the short list. So far, I'm on the short list.
We're going to claim the short list for 2023. We stand on the short list. We touching and agreeing. We touching and agreeing. Come on, Apostle. We touching and agreeing. We touching and agreeing.
I can't be on that long list.
He don't told us what 1 or 2 are gathered in his name. He in the midst. So you hear us.
Yes.
We want short list this year.
Because I can't do it, Lord. I can't do it.
Okay. Apostle, you want to share anything about your books since we out here?
All right.
Our next guest.
All right. I thank God that my first book came out in 2015. It's about my mother, and I went on a break, and then I went into I did my first anthology in 2019 with somebody. It wasn't mine personally. I was a part of an anthology, and that was new to me, and it caused all of us to become #1 international bestseller authors. I said, oh, this is awesome, So my son said, what you going to do next? And I thank God for my son, Hosea, because he pushed me. He's my, wherever that person called to kick you and push you and tell you to just do it,
Your accountability partner.
That's who he is. He's my
because my son is mine.
Yeah, that's who he is. And I'm sitting there like, I don't know what I'm going to do. So he told me, he said, write down 5 things you like And I wrote down the 5 things I like. He said, now join groups. For everything that you like, join a group. And that's how I started meeting everybody, right? And so I wrote my first book. The second book is called How I Feel Any Given Day. And I took a lesson that I have taught preschool about the days of the week. And that's what that book is about. It's basically a picture book. And what you do, you show the children like a sun. And you say, what is this? And they say, sun. And say, what day is connected to sun? They say, Sunday, you know. So I took pictures that match the days of the week, because that's how I taught in my classroom. So that was my first children's book. My second children's book was Salisa Needs Love. Salisa is a trilogy. And Salisa, the first part is when she's in elementary. Then the second one, she's in junior high. And the third one, she's in high school. Now, the reason why they're not out yet, because I keep on having fights with these illustrators, you know, because they want me to pay them more than what the book costs. So, Lord, I put my request out, Jesus. I need some illustrators. I need some illustrators to do junior high and high school. Thank you very much. And then, and so my next book was The Godhead. And let's talk about the different scriptures, because, you know, a lot of people don't understand the Godhead. So I wrote about the Godhead. That's a good book for Bible study. And so in last year, I had the opportunity to do my first anthology. And Angela is on there. And it's called Amazing Bible Study Guide Workbook. So we did that in a reference book. The reference book is not out yet. Because, yeah, we still trying to make changes with that too. But I'm telling you, you all going to love this. I got people fussing at me because they waiting for these books to come out. But I'm going to give you like the workbook question. It might say, why was Jacob scared to see his brother? You know, one of those questions from the Bible. Why was he scared? It's because he stole the birthright from Esau. So, you know, it goes into detail like that. But I thank God that I write books about everything, because when you're an educator, you're dealing with the whole family. You're not just dealing with the babies. You're dealing with the parents. You're dealing with the grandparents. You're dealing with everybody that is connected to that child. So a lot of people say, well, what do you write a book? What do you write about? I said, I write about everything, because I'm connected to everybody. So when you're going through life, you end up you know, learning from all different kind of people, all walks of life. And I'm just excited for these books. I'm excited. I get so excited, but I'm going to read this from my first book, Pumpy, You Are Love. And this is something that I think some women just punish themselves. And this is how Pumpy was. She said, the love of her life was no longer there because she had to let him go, because she did not want to hurt him. And I think that's what a lot of women do. They punish themselves. Sometimes God can send us somebody who will actually love us, you know. And she grew up in an era where it said, if it's too good to be true, then it is. Well, sometimes God will send somebody that will actually love you for who you are. You don't have to change. You don't have to walk on eggshells, you know. But she could not accept that, because she didn't want to hurt him. All her life, her parents hurt her, everybody hurt her. And so she didn't want him in her life to the point where her parents will hurt him. So instead of, because he said, listen, wherever you're going through, I'm going to be there by your side. But she pushed him away. And I think that's what a lot of people do when God does send somebody. They pray, oh, Lord, please send me somebody. And then when God sends them somebody good, they push them away. Now, and then we end up with these people who be like, wait a minute, I know I'm better than this. Like, how did I end up with you? Like, what happened? Because you're punishing yourself. And I went through that when I married my first husband. I thought I didn't deserve good. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I was listening to all these folks, and I ended up in that marriage for 18 years. But I kept on praying. I said, Lord, please, if you get me out of this, deliver me, deliver me, deliver me, deliver me. You hear me? And so God was merciful to me. Hallelujah. Because after 18 years of that, I was able to get remarried to my chocolate. And I love my chocolate. And I'm spoiled. And I tell people I'm spoiled. I am spoiled right. He tell people, she's spoiled. Sure is. I'm spoiled right. Because see, we do deserve to be treated like a queen. Hey, we do deserve that. Y'all hear me? So when God sends you somebody, don't push him away. Don't be like, oh, he too good to be true. Investigate the whole family. Oh yeah, you better know the mama, the daddy, the brothers, the cousins, the friends. Get a yearbook, make sure they the person it is. Cause honey, now these days you don't know what you're getting. I told my sons, I said, I feel sorry for y'all, cause these transgenders look better than the women. Man, I be like, what? You know what I'm saying? I be like, oh my God. I said, I feel sorry for y'all. So y'all gonna have to get yearbooks. Y'all gonna have to investigate and make sure what was that person born? Was that person born a man? I mean a boy or a girl? Because you don't know what you getting. You don't, they change it just like Skittles or something. But I just thank God for my chocolate. He's 6'7", and I love all 6'7" of him. He's an awesome guy. I mean, an awesome man. And I'm telling you, he's just a sweetheart. And to put up with me, because I know I'll be getting the blues sometimes. I know I'll be getting the blues sometimes, boy.
I want you to say something to somebody. They say, at this point in time, I didn't think I deserved a good man. Tell them they do.
Oh, you honey, yes you do, honey. Because I got me one. I got me a good man. I'm spoiled, rotten. I don't do nothing. Y'all hear me? But get up, wash up, put my clothes on. Hallelujah. Preach the word. Hallelujah. Glory be to God. My husband said, quit telling people that. Well, hey, it is what it is. Hallelujah. Because he cook, clean, do everything else. Hallelujah. So don't get caught up in saying I don't deserve that, because that's the devil. He'll tell you you don't deserve a good person. A person can buy you a house and a car and all that stuff, but what is your desire? Do you want to have a relationship, or whatever your desire is, God will give it to you. And don't get caught up in this. The devil always want to tell us we can't have this. We can have anything, because the Bible said eyes have not seen, ears have not heard. We can have whatever God said we can have. We put God in a box. We tell ourselves we can't have this and we can't have that. The devil is a lie.
You got to speak what you want to come to have it to pass. And you deserve a good man, and you shall have that. But you got to believe that you deserve that, and start with loving yourself a little bit more each and every day. You can't talk yourself out of something that you know that you want to have. If you don't want to have it, you'll never have it. But if he gave you the vision of having that, then guess what? You will have it. So speak that over yourself. Say that you shall have, because God has prepared somebody just for you. You just got to be willing to receive them when they come. Because I'll be the first to say, when I met the gentleman that I am with now, I wasn't ready to receive him when I met him. I wasn't. I could not receive him because I wasn't ready, because I was unhealed. And now he's mine, I'm his, and that's just what we are. But it was because I wasn't ready to receive. I've been praying and asking God for one, but when he came, it wasn't what I expected it to be. And it was a challenge for me. And so I ran for him, because I'm like, you ain't finna talk to me like that. I don't know where you think you coming from, but that ain't it, sir. That ain't gonna work for me. But I had to understand, and he has become my safe space. He is my safe space. And when I'm getting on his nerves or whatever, he was like, can you just get somewhere and sit down and just be beautiful? That's all I need you to do. And I'm like, okay. I guess I can do that. But I got a couple of questions too. He be like, I don't need you to ask no questions. I just need you to go and sit down somewhere. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go sit down. And so it has become that type of thing. Like he motivates me to be the best version of myself. And I do the same for him. And I tell him, I know I'm gonna get on your nerves and you gonna get on mine. And some days I ain't gonna like you. And some days you ain't gonna like me. But every day I'm gonna get up and choose to love you because of who you are and what you've provided for me. You provided a safe space. For a long time, I lived in the fight or flight mode for many, many years because I had been conditioned as a kid, because my mom, with her being in her abusive relationships and loud noises and fighting and stuff like that, I never knew what a healthy relationship looked like. Now, my grandfather, before he passed when I was about 8 years old. That was the man that I looked up to look for how a man was supposed to treat a woman. And then when he passed away, I lost that. And I never met anybody else that was like that. And even though I was married before, it was my children's father, he turned to his mother and his father for everything. And so I'm like, you don't understand what it's like to not have either one of your parents to turn to. So it was one of those things where I had to understand, okay, this man can't teach me what I need, but I got really close to his father, and his father became the father figure that I needed for me and how to grow. And so when he passed, like, my ex-mother-in-law was telling me some things, and she was like, well, it was things that your father-in-law did for you that you didn't know. I said, well, I'm going to be honest with you. I said, I knew. I said, because him and I had conversations that you didn't know anything about. I said, because that was our private relationship. That was the relationship that him and I built. And she was like, well, I didn't know he told you that. I said, but he did. I said, see, your relationship with me was based on your opinion of me about my mother. I said, but you never got a chance to get to know me. I said, and that's fine. I said, but my relationship with your husband was my father-in-law. I said, so we built a relationship, and he was the father figure that I needed at that time. I said, and so when I met the gentleman that I'm with now, he reminded me of my grandfather, and it scared me. And so it was like, okay, here is a man's man that I can actually go into being a woman. I don't have to be so strong all the time. I can sit back and allow him to be who he is for me. And it took me a minute. And like I said, I ran, because I was like, you ain't finna come in here telling me what I'm finna do and how I'm finna do it, because you don't even know me like that, sir. You don't know me like that. So I ain't finna listen to you. And so we had this conversation when I first met him, and now when I look back on it, all I can do is laugh. And I told him, we just had this conversation not too long ago, because I was like, when you first met me and you were telling me, I got you, trust me, just get in the boat. And I was like, I'm not getting in no boat. Where are we going? He was like, just get in the boat and trust me that I got you. I was like, sir, where's this boat going? Are we going to be far away from land? Are we going to know what land is? He was like, don't worry about that. Just know that I got you and nothing is going to happen. I said, well, I can't even get in this boat with you, sir, because I don't know where this boat is going. I don't know the destination. I don't know how far away land is going to be. So I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't, You ain't getting me in that boat. And so now, when I talk to him about it, I'm like, I understand your boat analogy now, sir. I can get in the boat and I can follow you because I know that you got me. I know that you're not going to allow me to fail. I know that you're not going to put me in harm's way. So I trust you enough to know that if I fall, you're there to catch me, and vice versa. But when he first, sir, no, I can't get in that boat. I don't know where we going. I don't know what land is. You can't tell me right from left, sir. I can't do it. And he tells me now, if plan B, Plan A don't work, plan B. You got 24 other letters that's going to go in there. So we going to get to where we need to go, but you don't worry about how we get there. Just know that we will make it to where we need to go. Okay. And so when I told him that he has become my safe space, he was like, "You've never felt safe before?" I said, "No, I've never felt safe with anybody before." And when I said that, I realized that my body started to relax. I was extremely tired for a good couple of months because my body was really starting to get into a sense of calm. And I had never felt that in a long, long time since I was an 8-year-old girl. And I'm like, you remind me of my grandfather. And that's the reason I ran, because I ain't seen that in a long time. So yeah, you got to know what you deserve, and understand this, that you might have had a penciled out on a piece of paper and said that you wanted this man to be 6'5", 200 and some pounds, muscular, with a good job and all of that. God ain't got that man for you, because that ain't on his checklist for you. You got to find somebody that God has for you. And you'll know that man when he comes. And you'll know that woman when she comes, because they'll come with everything that God has equipped for them to have for you. So stop counting yourself out. Stop saying that you don't deserve a good man when you know that you deserve a good man and a good woman, because they are there for you, because God created them just for you.
Wow. Woo! Y'all been getting deep today. They appreciate that. So true. Let me see what they're saying. They say thank you. They say this is good. They say this is good. Yeah, y'all been getting deep over here.
And listen, whatever God is going to lead
you have to be careful of how you speak and the things that you say, because words have power. Mm-hmm. And what Proverbs 18:21, it says we have the power to speak life or death in our tongue.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So when you saying that you don't deserve this and this ain't gonna happen, and this, we have to be mindful. That's why I tell people, be intentional about those things, and you got to learn how to speak those things. Even if you can't see it, you got to believe that he's going to do what he said he's going to do. I'll trust him even when I can't trace him.
Yep.
I'll trust him when I can't see what's going on around me.
And can't even understand what it is.
He's never failed me. Like, I was having a conversation with my god sister. She was texting me, and she asked me, she say, how do you know God is talking to you? I said, well, first of all, it ain't like people always say you gonna just hear words. I said, he ain't just gonna, just like me and you having a conversation, it ain't gonna always, some people it may be, I say, but it don't be like that with me. I say he deal with everybody different. I say it can be songs, it can be other people, it can be a book you pick up and read. It can be anything that he want to use. I'm saying he can use you sitting there looking at the fireplace.
Yep.
And use the sparks from the fire to send a message to you. Mm-hmm. Like, he can use anything that he wants. So I was telling her, I said, well, with me, I say how I really began to truly feel the presence of God and understand that God was truly speaking to me, because I used to be that person that always said, I believe all that everybody's saying, but I never had that experience, like understanding that he's good. I know he's good because they say he's good and the words say he's good, but I didn't have that experience where I could say for myself that he's good. Yeah. As soon as I opened my mouth to say that, how I went through some stuff. And I was able to say it for real. He's good. He's good. That's why I say, be careful. I told her, I say, don't keep saying that. I say, because you go through some stuff and then you'll be over there going through the stuff, but then you'll realize at the end that he has always been there. Mm-hmm. I say, baby girl, I say, just know he's there. I say, just pray a little harder. I say, and just when you pray, I say, sit down and allow him to talk to you. I say, when you pray, don't be in such a hurry to get up from prayer. I say, sit down and meditate a little bit. Just I say, if you got to find you a place, get you a place. She said, well, I pray in my room. She was telling me what she prayed. And I said, well, get off to the corner and just sit there for a moment and just be silent. And I said, he'll speak to you.
Mm-hmm.
I say, if you got your Bible with you, I said, he may send you to a scripture to read.
Yep.
I say, but you just got to you just got to listen. I said, because he been talking to you. And then I got to telling her stuff. And then she was like, and I don't know where all that stuff come from. I didn't even know baby girl was dealing with some stuff. You know what I'm saying? But got to telling her this stuff, and she was like, she said, sis, thank you. I needed that. But you just have to be willing.
Yep.
And he'll speak to you, he'll use you, he'll do whatever to build his kingdom, because all he want us to share his goodness.
Mm-hmm.
And
you gotta know for yourself.
But I'm sitting here listening to you, and I'm gonna tell you how good God is. And I keep having to tell people this, that everybody that come across my platform, I can relate to every single one of their journeys, because at some point in my life, I've had to endure some things, and I've had to be beside people that have endured some stuff. Like me personally, I've never endured incest and molestation, but I've had to comfort people that have. Like my stepdaughter, she was molested, and I had to be the one there for her. Mm-hmm. So I tell you, man, when I tell you, don't question this walk, don't question this journey. Just go through it and praise him through it. Because know that it's somebody that you're going to come in contact with along this journey that you're going to be able to share that with. It just count it as joy, because he's building your character. He's building you into that person that he designed you to be from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
See, when we start, well, we a lot of us, we lose track of what it is that God has planned for us, because we're trying to live up to expectations of our parents,
mm-hmm.
expectations of what people have put on us, the schoolhouse, the colleges, and different places that are trying to mold us into what they want us to be for society.
Yep.
Instead of allowing us to flow in the things that God has called us to. Like, I never would have thought that I would be sitting here doing podcasts and writing books, magazine owner, doing all of that stuff, because I was programmed to work in a plant. I was programmed to go work at Frigidaire. I was programmed to go work at Ryobi. Go work to get in one of those nice plants. You work 15, 20, 30 years. You get you a house. You drive a BMW. Well, back then it was Volvos,
mm-hmm.
Cadillacs. You got you a Volvo. You got you a Cadillac. You was it, and then you stayed over in a subdivision. Because if you stayed in the subdivision back then, you had made it. If you got in the subdivision, because back then nobody stay in subdivision but the white people. So if you got in one of those subdivisions, you had made it, and you got on at one of the big plants. And for me in Anderson, the big plants was BASF. You had Michelin. You had Ryobi. Now they got the first quality the first quality tissue paper plant. Then they got two well, I don't know if they call them Electrolux. They still call it Electrolux or whatever, but they make refrigerators. They got two of them now. So everybody graduated from high school, they want to get on at one of them plants. But that wasn't me. I did not want to work at a plant. That was not what I wanted to do. Like, I was finna defy every odd it was. I was going to school. That's what I said. I was going to school. I was going to do something. So I'm glad that that lady saw something in me and said, put me on the basketball team, because I didn't know how to play no basketball. But God touched her heart and told her to put me on the JV team. That lady put me on the JV team. I learned how to play basketball. Y'all, I used to double dribble and walk. Every time I touched the ball, they blew the whistle. Every single time they threw the ball at me, I would take out running before I dribbled. But I'm telling you, I was willing to learn. I learned how to play basketball in 8th grade. My 9th grade year, I was starting. She put me on the varsity team. The end of my 8th grade year, I went up to varsity and I started starting. So when my mom passed, I did not want to move to Atlanta, so I stayed. And I said I want to graduate because I had an opportunity to get a scholarship. And I said I want to get this scholarship and go off to school. And I ended up at North Greenville Junior College. It was a junior college at the time, up in Tigerville, up in the mountains of North Greenville. And I went there for 1 year, experienced some racial injustice that I just did not think that you should have experienced at a Christian college. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew I was not going back to that school. So I decided to come to Atlanta with my sister because my sister had already moved here. And I decided to come to Atlanta. I ain't know nothing about no Morehouse. I know nothing about no Spelman. I know nothing about no Clark Atlanta. I didn't know nothing about Morris Brown because ain't nobody was telling us about no HBCUs at Ivor, at Crescent. Because I went to Ivor. It was 10 of us. It was 10 of us graduated in my class. It was 10 of us that graduated in my class. So they weren't telling us nothing about no HBCUs. So I didn't know anything about HBCU. So when I got to Atlanta, I was just calling around the schools trying to figure out, where I can go play ball at, how I can get into school, how I can get into one of these schools. I called the Morehouse. They told me this is an all-male school. Didn't know that. Spelman wasn't taking nobody in. They recruit. They don't take walk-in. So Clark and Morris Brown, they listened to me. Clark told me if I walked on as a red shirt, they would possibly be able to give me a scholarship after 2 years. So the coach from Morris Brown called my sister and he said he wanted to come out to the house and meet us. So he came out to the house and he met with us and he told me, he said, I ain't never seen you play. He said, but you look like you can play. He said, if you play in the summer league, he said, we got a summer league out in Ben Hill. He said, if you play in the summer league, he said, I'm going to put you on the team. He said, but I can't get you on campus this semester. He said, but next semester you'll have a room on campus. He said, if you can stay off campus the first semester, he said, I got you. He said, all I need you to do is go out there and play with them in the summer league. He said, and I'm going to get you a job. He said, Katina going to get you a job at Papa John's. And he did everything that he said. He got me a job at Papa John's down there, right across from the Georgia Dome. It ain't down there no more, but it's right there where that little club at now. But I worked at that pizza place, and I could walk from that pizza place right across the street to the dorm. And that's what I did. He did everything that he said he was going to do. He put me on the basketball team. I played basketball. I played for Morris Brown. And I tell you, God is good because I didn't see this, and just like you, everybody told me what I was not going to be and how I was going to end up. And I was determined to not be who they said I was going to be. Because remember, when my mom passed away 12 days after my 16th birthday, everybody counted me to the wolves. They said I would have a house full of kids. I wasn't going to graduate. I was going to do this. I was going to do that. I was determined not to do what they said I was going to do. I sit by and I watch. I was watching them. I watch you take your daughter and get a abortion, but I ain't got no baby. But I watched you take yours. Yeah, I call them out. I call them out all the time. I even write about them in my books because everything that y'all said I wasn't gonna do, and everything that y'all said I was gonna be, like literally, I had an aunt. Like you say, I had an aunt got sick at school one day, and all I wanted to do was come home. And I knew if I went home and went to sleep and was whatever, I was gonna be okay for the game. How about my aunt told me, she said, you can't go to school, you can't. But I stayed at school half a day. I stayed as long as I could, but I knew if I went home and went to sleep, I would be able to be ready for that game. Honey, I got ready. I thought I was finna go to that game. She told me to get her keys to her car. I wasn't finna go nowhere. That thing hurt me so bad, y'all. And that was one of the games I was getting scouted for. That thing hurt me so bad. And here it is. I'm thinking you supposed to be the one that, yeah. I graduated from high school. No class ring. I got nothing. My sister and my mama's sister was the only two people that showed up to my graduation, and I lived with my aunt. My sister had moved to Atlanta, was living in Atlanta, and just had gave birth to my nephew, the one that I call my baby. And when she brought him to my graduation. The first time I ever laid eyes on him, my baby was wearing a sailor outfit. I'll never forget that. And why my baby in the Navy now? My baby leaves Sunday, going back. He getting ready to go to Guam. But I say, if we just move out the way and just allow God to be who he said he will be in our lives, even when we don't understand, it'll make a difference. Well, we have our 2:00 guest here. And I'm going to allow him to come on up, y'all, and join us. Let me see what he got going on. Y'all know I'm crazy. Let me see. Is he ready? Look like he moving.
I hope she didn't forget about us.
We just sitting here.
Supposed to be moving him up. I was like, where he at?
Yeah, because we still up here, but it's the way God moves, and as long as we in the space in which we belong, it's all right.
It's all right. I'm having a good time.
I am
supposed to be here. I forgot I had signed up for 3:30, but God
I signed up for like 3:00, I think. So I'm here. I mean, listen, I guess it was designed that way, so I ain't even complaining.
I know that. That's how it was when had to do the music thing.
I tried to bring him up. And he kicked me out. I went to click on him and it kicked me out.
Wow. Uh-oh.
It kicked me all the way out. And then he ain't even down there no more.
Uh-oh.
Wow. I don't know what that was. Enemy is a lie.
Well, you probably had to this Facebook Messenger and tell him to come back in.
I'm sure he
I know that one time.
I got stuff down on my own. I wouldn't have there is. I don't know what happened. It kicked me all the way out. I hope it don't kick me out this time. I'm about to click on him now. I went to invite you in and to bring you in, sir, and it kicked me all the way out. How you doing today?
I think you're
on mute. I can't hear you. You on mute?
How you doing?
All right, how you doing?
I'm good. How everybody doing?
I went to bring you in, and it kicked me out.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't hear nothing, so I left. I couldn't hear nothing, so I left.
Yeah, I was trying to bring you in. I was trying to bring you up, and I went to click on you to bring you in, and it kicked me out.
Oh, wow.
I said, okay, we must have like what we was talking about. So how are you today?
Positivity. Man, I'm alive. I'm never going to complain.
I know that's right. Because the last time he was here, the internet just didn't want to act right, period. Didn't want to act right, period, at all. So hopefully we're not gonna have that issue today. But I'm glad you're able to stop by and share with us on today. We are recognizing Black History Month as and I keep telling people it's 24/7, 365. And
Yeah.
but since they want to give us this month, we're gonna do something extra special. We just gonna make it extra. We just gonna make that brownness a little extra on this month. So we just being extra, but we Black 24/7, 365.
365. You're right about that.
Okay. And we authors that 24/7, 365. I can't let it go. So I want you to introduce yourself to everyone.
All right. Hi everybody. I'm JD, the author. I'm author of The Post-Traumatic Street Disorder, Amazon bestselling novel. It's basically a memoir / self-help book about my life. And basically how to just get over the traumatization, you know, just realizing that I was traumatized by the streets and the things that I encountered in my life, you know. So I just wrote about that to encourage people.
Wow. And can you tell us where you from and where you grew up?
I'm from New York City. I grew up in Queens, New York. I lived down south for a little bit too. So if you see the book, you read the book, you see I grew up a little bit down south. Definitely, mostly in New York.
Right. What part of the South did you live in?
Columbia, South Carolina. Yeah, it was crazy down there.
Neck of the woods.
Yeah, I stayed down there for a little bit, man. It was crazy.
So I'm from Anderson, but I live in Myrtle Beach, and Trevita is from Spartanburg.
Oh man.
Have you always lived in Spartanburg, Trevita?
Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
So we are South Carolinians.
Yep.
Oh man.
So yes. So what has this journey been like for you? I really want to talk about legacy. I want to talk about legacy and the importance of legacy.
Right. So for me, right, I always want to be something that to my kids I didn't have. Like I didn't have a person like to really love me, somebody I could look up to. My influences came from the streets where like I always looked up to the drug dealers and the people on the corner that was getting money. So I didn't have that person in the home. I want my kid to be like, yo, I want to be like my dad. Like I want to be like that, you know, when I grow up. I want to do these things. I want to be their motivator.
Right. Role model. So what are you doing? What are you trying to do right now to create a legacy?
Well, basically, what I'm doing to create a legacy is I started with the book. I do motivational speaking. I'm out there. I do that. I got a book publishing company, so I got multiple books coming, and I'm in a community. So that's the thing. I'm just trying to leave my imprint on life. You know, I was put here to be a light for others. Like the things I've been through and my journey, I had to understand that like for me, it was to be a light for other people. Like that's why God put me here. So he gave me a very tough battle, you know, growing up with no parents, growing up in foster care and all that, and all them sorts of things, being abused and everything else. He put those battles on me, and I'm supposed to be a statistic, you know. I wasn't supposed to make it this far. I wasn't like. If you look at the numbers, I'm supposed to either be a drug addict or I'm supposed to be in jail. Like they told me I wasn't gonna make it past 18. So like I've been told that multiple times. You're not gonna make it past 18. So we don't even got to worry about you. You're gonna be dead somewhere in jail. But here I am, 30 years old. I'm still here. I'm free. You know, I haven't been to prison. You know what I mean? Like I haven't done no real crazy time. Like I've been out of jail, but I haven't done no crazy time. So by the grace of God, that's all by the grace, you know. So like. Just that's my imprint, like that's my legacy to be the light.
I know you say you are a speaker. What are some of the topics that you speak on?
Some of the topics I speak on, it's between not giving up. I talk a lot about fatherhood, a lot about mental health, because that's the things that kill our community, you know, mental health and not understanding the battles we go through in our mind. Like I lost a brother to suicide, so I've also tried to commit suicide. So like it's to know like a lot of the battles we face, a lot of things we go through, especially as men in America, as Black men in America, is mental health is one of the biggest issues. We see so much, we take so much, and then we're taught from young, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. Like a lot of us, if you cry, you got beat, you know? Like it's taught that a man ain't supposed to cry. It's taught that a man's supposed to be hard. So we grow up not being able to express ourselves. So it affects our relationships. It affects the way we react with our kids and everything, because it's been installed in us to be one type of way. So those are a lot of things I talk about, like diving into mental health and the things I dealt with and I deal with on the daily.
Wow. So you sitting on this stage with 3 other people that journey's almost the same as yours. Because you look at Trevita, she lost both of her parents. Pastor Tamala, you lost your mom. She had to raise her 3 siblings. And then you look at me. I lost my mom 12 days after my 16th birthday. My dad was not really in my life. He was a drug addict. God rest his soul. Clean and sober 9 years before he passed away. So yeah, that was my journey. I was all of us have been told that we weren't going to amount to this and all kind of stuff that would just break us. And I think that is a lot of us as brown people, you know, I think we get told that because that's what a lot of the masters used to tell the slaves.
Exactly.
And that was the way that they used to break them down. So that was the way that they was broke down. So they know that that's it's gonna break them down. It's gonna get them. But I'm so glad that we are the generation that said no more.
Yeah, no more.
No more. I'm glad that we are the generation that said it stops with me. That it's not gonna affect my kids. It's not gonna affect my nieces, not my nephews. Not it stops with me.
Yeah.
And decided to be the change makers. And it was something in us that said, okay, nah, we're not doing this. But I'm thankful for you because you are example of what men could be if they just stayed the course and just not give in and give up. Because there are a lot of people, I hear a lot of men now, you know, they don't want to talk about mental illness. They don't want to talk about. I got a friend right now, and I know he be depressed, but he'll swear he ain't depressed. And he's so used to being the provider to where he's in a place now to where he can't provide. He lost sight of his right eye. And he can't be the provider that he wants to be for his family. So he feels like he's not living up to the expectations of the world. I say, you got to live up to your expectations. If you know you cannot do this, you know you can't do this, then set expectations that you can.
But you know one thing?
Reach.
Go ahead, sir. Not to cut you off. Like, you know one thing? A lot of people some people don't know they could do better. It's like I know with social media and all that is like how can you say that, right? But think about it. If you accustomed to living one way your whole life, you don't no matter what you see, you don't believe it could be you. You don't believe that you could overcome those things. You don't believe that better can happen for you. You know, like it took me a while to even think that. Like even as I was writing and even as like people are recognizing me, it's still like I still know where I come from, and I still face my demons. So it's like, yeah, you might say this, but what about what I see? You know what I mean? So like, if you see the same things and you still in the same community, it's hard to overcome those things. That's why people gotta fight through. You gotta be able to be able to tap into something, because it's hard out here. Like it's really hard out here for people. Like especially when you in them certain environments and you stuck in that environment, it's definitely hard to rise out of that.
And that's why we need more people willing to talk about and to do these things right here. People can see when me, I used to be that same person. I didn't think that we was just having this conversation. We didn't think that we could do this. A little country girl from Levelland, South Carolina, one way in, one way out. Did you think that I would have all of these awards, have my own little organization, a magazine, hosting podcasts? For what? People used to pick at the way I talk. So definitely didn't think that I would be doing any of this. Who writing books? Who? No, never. Never. And then especially the people that's no took advantage of you, and then you produce something that's better than what they produced for you.
Definitely.
Like people don't see it. And there was a point, even when after I first did my first anthology, I still didn't think I was a writer. So that's how I got in the trap. But when I started to believe in myself and started to really accept the fact that, hey, I am doing this and I can do this. You know, you got to believe. Forget everybody around you, but you got to allow some stuff to rub off on you too. Like I started hanging around with people that was going places.
Yeah, you gotta have the right people around.
Wanting to put myself in a place. You sometimes you gotta make a way, and then sometimes you got to. They say faith it. They say fake it until you make it, but I say faith it. Like my friends say, faith it until you make it.
Yeah.
You gotta have faith.
No, you can't move. It's not gonna be done without faith. You know what I mean? You gotta believe in yourself more than anybody else believe in you. And it just take those moments take each moment at a time. Like you gotta understand, like, especially when it comes to writing, like everybody think you just gonna write a book in a day or two, or you're gonna have days where you don't feel like writing. You gotta take them 100-word days and appreciate it. Just like when you knock out 2,000 words, you gotta appreciate the days you can't, and you just can only write 100, 150 words. And you take it and just step by step. It's like baby steps. You take whatever come with it and you just go. Like the battle is not gonna be easy. Like just like people want things easy for some reason. Like I wrote a piece called Microwave Love. Like everybody wants things quick and easy, and that's just not the way it's gonna be. It's not nothing's easy. Anything come easy ain't supposed to have it. It become too easy. I had to learn that the hard way though. You know, that's we enter the streets because we want a different route. We want an easier route. We might not want to work, or you know what I mean? Like it's reason. Everybody has their reasons why they indulge in the street life, but for the most part, it's because we want the easier route. We don't want to slave. We don't want to put the grind in. So we rather, some people rather take. Some people rather go out there and take it, and that just ain't the way. And that's why I'm here to tell people, like, all that stuff y'all think be cool ain't cool. Like a lot of people think the stuff they glorify, it ain't cool. None of that stuff is cool, man. Like I did so much stuff in my life, man. Like, and it'd be like, for what? Like, what was it for? Like, what was it all for? Like, what was it for? So you just gotta keep going, man. You just gotta keep going. Don't give up.
So what would your message be to someone that's going through some things right now? They may be struggling. Say you got some teenage boys that may be going through some things, may feel like they not they not fitting in, or they not. What would you say to them?
All right, to the one, like, say if you're not fitting in, right, then that's not the people for you. If I don't fit in with you, like, I'm not gonna be something I'm not. Like, that's one thing about me. I never was the one to try to be something I'm not. Like, I've always just walked in my own path. Like, regardless, I'm not gonna do what the group think is cool. I'm gonna just do it whether you like it or not. So if you don't fit in, it's because you're not around the right surroundings. You're not around the right people. The people you're supposed to fit in is going to be people that's like-minded like you. You don't have to try to be cool. You don't have to do this because you think it's cool. You know what I mean? Like, I think like, some people don't even know why they do things. Like, they just do it because they think other people think it's cool, or they think highly of them. But like, and really, it don't even really be cool. It's like, what are you doing that for? Like, always know why you're doing something, and like, have your own purpose, have your own meaning. Like, fight. You know what I mean? Like, that's my message. Like, you gotta have your own purpose. Like, what do you want to do? Because at the end of the day, life is about you. Like, we all get one life to live. Like, in a short, like, I've been to a lot of funerals, like, friends, and it just, life ends, and then the people you think care really don't. Like every life just goes on. Like, you know what I mean? People, like, I done seen like people swear they best friends and then one die and then the next person just like he don't even care. Like he's trying to sleep with his girlfriend or something, you know? So it's like the people you really think down for you don't be down for you, and it don't make sense. It don't. So like I feel like you gotta really just give your heart when you whatever you're doing, man. Make sure your heart is in it, you know.
I tell everybody to find your purpose. Find that thing
Exactly.
that you're passionate about. That thing that makes you get up in the morning and makes you want to do that thing. Like for me getting up in the morning and knowing that I got a show to do. Like getting up this morning at 5 a.m. I knew 4:30, getting up for prayer. I knew I had to get up for 5 a.m. prayer. You know, that's what drive me, getting up and meet my sisters in prayer and knowing that I had this today. And then I wasn't even expecting my books to come in, but getting up and just expecting to do something different, to be able to touch a life. That's what drive me. Like I wake up and hoping that he don't fill me up throughout the night with something that I can pour into somebody today. As I slept, that he was just whispering in my ears sweet nothings that I can pass off to somebody throughout this day that's going to help educate, empower, and encourage them to their next level. That, and when I go to sleep tonight, I want to be empty. I want to have poured out something. So that's what drives me. And I tell everybody, find you something that makes you want to get up in the morning, and that you're going to go all throughout the day giving of that until you feel empty so he can fill you back up while you sleep.
Exactly.
And books and podcasts and my magazine, that's what has done it for me. And I tell you, I did not see this. I did not see none of this when I was in Levelland, South Carolina. One way in, one way out, Black Hill Road. Didn't see none of this. Did not see.
And you can't be scared to fall. You can't be scared to fail. You know what I mean? Because there's really no failing. Like that's everybody's main thing. Like they scared to take that step because they scared to fail. Like you can't be scared of that. Like that comes with it. That comes with the territory. Like it's just like when the baby learn how to walk, that first few steps, they gonna fall. That's just what comes with it. You're gonna have your shortcomings, but you gotta take them shortcomings. You gotta grow from that. You gotta build from that. You can't use it to look down on it like, oh, this may not be for me. Like, don't be scared. Don't be scared to try different things. Like, you know, especially when as you're younger, you gotta be okay with trying different things, and you gotta figure out your niche, because just because it worked for one person, it might not work for another person. Like I used to love music. I went to college for music, and I just had to realize that's not for me. It's just for me to love. Regardless of how much I love, it's not for me to do. No matter how talented I feel like I am, no matter what. That's not for me to do, you know. So what's for me to do, I'm gonna do it. And that was writing. Writing has always been I have a way with words. I'm just like I have such a beautiful way with words, and the way I'm able to articulate myself and the way I'm able to put the words together, it's just like it's my specialty. And music wasn't my specialty, but that was okay. I had to let that go. Okay, look, this is what I'm here for. I'm here to tell my story. I'm here to write. It's all the same thing. It's almost the same lane, but that wasn't my lane. This was my lane. I had to find my lane. I had to stick with it and take the shortcomings that come with it.
Wow. So how can individuals follow you and support the things that you're doing? And I can't wait to see you guys next week. He is one of the nominees he actually got 2 nominations. He is nominated for Man of the Year and for Author of the Year. So we're gonna see who's gonna walk away with these awards.
All right now.
But how can we support what you're doing and follow you?
Okay, you can follow me on Instagram _JD the author, my website www.jdauthor.com. If it's not, it's getting worked on right now, so it should be up live in like a day or two. We got everybody working on it. You can follow me on Facebook, JD the author, and yeah, just reach out to me. My postings of where I'll be speaking at will be posted through my social medias, and just keep looking out. There's more books coming. I got a book coming soon, getting released this year. That's gonna be another #1. That's gonna be exciting. So it's some things we're working on. Me and Angela, we working on some things. So
he's an ambassador. He's an ambassador for the 122 Author Movement. I think all 3 of y'all are. So y'all definitely need to be connecting and seeing how we all can, because we're trying to pull some things off. We're trying to hit all 50 states over the next however long it take us, but we're trying to get some, bring some awareness to our brown authors, and just trying to get these messages out here, because all of us have a message, and people need to hear what God is saying through us. And I'm gonna leave it at that. But I want to thank you for stopping by and sharing with us on today. I thank you so much. Is there anything you want to say before you leave?
Oh yeah, definitely. For anybody that's feeling down and out and feeling like they ready to give up, and just remember, the sun will rise tomorrow. You just got to do is get to the next day. The sun will eventually come up. Just keep going. Don't give up. I know how it feel. I know how it feel to feel like you don't have hope, but just believe it. The sun will come up.
Amen. Amen. Well, I want to thank you for stopping by and sharing with us. I tell you, we have truly enjoyed you once again.
Thank y'all for having me.
You have a great rest of your evening.
You too.
So our next guest is backstage. We're going to go ahead and bring her up and allow her to introduce herself. I've actually had the opportunity to meet this young lady in person. She's amazing. She's an amazing woman of God. Let me bring her up. Hello. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great. I can't complain. I won't complain. There's no need.
I know that's right.
So if you would introduce yourself to everyone.
Sure. My name is Tanya Woods. I reside in Greenville, South Carolina. I am a public school educator. I'm an assistant principal at one of the middle schools here. I am an author. I have been writing since I was in elementary school. Have out 7 publications now. 2 of those are collaborations, and looking to do 2 to 3 more publications this year.
Awesome. I tell you, amazing woman of God. I truly have been blessed by her on several occasions. But I just want people to know exactly what all you do, like your book, what this book journey has been like, and what the word legacy mean to you, because you're definitely creating a legacy.
Yeah.
And I want you to share.
Absolutely. I'll be honest with you. Legacy starts even before me. My mother's family, if you go in anybody's house in my mother's family, there are books everywhere. We are readers. We're avid readers. Bibles and fiction and nonfiction, and everybody, not just one person. So for me to write and be an author, it's about living up to what I was taught. My mom used to take us to the library every week to get at least 2 books. And we would read, my brother and I would read, and she would read the books, and we would talk about the books. So reading and writing has always been a part of me. It is something that was instilled in me. But my writing journey really started when I was younger. I come from a family of people who talk a little bit louder than I do, and have a stronger voice than I do. And I just started journaling because I didn't feel like I had much of a voice. I was one of the youngest on my mom's side of the family and on my dad's side of the family. So I don't know about you, but in my family, the older ones were talking. You kind of hushed. You were quiet. And so I started writing. And first it was a journal, and then I started writing poetry. When I was in the 9th grade, I had a teacher who really encouraged us to write and who really saw something in me. So when I graduated high school, I was our class poet. I was able to read a poem at my high school graduation. So I did that. And when I was in college for elementary education, I took a kiddie lit class, is what we called it, the children's literature. And we write a book. We had to write a story. And I wrote a story about my grandfather. And my father said, "You need to publish that. You need to write that." Well, it was just a story I wrote for class. So, I wasn't really doing much with that. And over the years, I was just encouraged to go ahead and publish something. And so I published my first children's book in 2018. And I haven't stopped. Last year, 2022, was the first year I haven't published one book during the whole year, but I was dealing with some personal things and I'm back on track now.
Amen. Amen. So do you have any of your books that you would like to show us?
I do. I'm actually out of my children's books, but I have posters made that I take with me. So this was my second book, In the Garden. It's for girls and about girls and their friendships. And I had to write that one because the first one I wrote was about boys under the tree. And I have a lot of girls in my life too. And they looked at me and they said, okay, when's our book coming out? So I had to write those two books. And I'm excited about those because the characters in the book, while I don't name them, they represent people in my family and throughout my journey in life. And they start young, and it's about their friendship as they mature in life. So you see them from being young boys and young girls to being older men and women and kind of what they go through. So I include some activities in the back of that. I also am a strong believer in God and a strong believer that we have to introduce our children to God early, number one. Number two, we have to have them in places where they can learn about God and where they can establish a great relationship with God. So I started this next book, Soul Lift, 30 Days, 30 Ways to Lift Your Soul. It's actually for women. I started there because I would connect with young girls and young boys, and their mothers would be drawn to me. They would want to talk to me, or they would seek me out for advice and different things. So I wrote this for the women, but then again, my girls keep me going. I love boys, but my girls keep me going. So when I was showing them the women's book, they wanted to know where their book was. So there is a companion book to go along with the women's book. This is similar to the 30 Days, 30 Ways, but it is for teens. So I encourage mothers and daughters to get these because they can be talking about similar topics on similar days and just take them through a journey together. It has questions and they both have some thought-provoking activities for people to do, like eating alone, which we don't do. But I believe if you can't enjoy your company, who's going to be able to enjoy your company if you can't do that? So that's something I encourage people to do. Did an anthology collaboration, Oh, How We Love Our Sons. These are letters, poems, and just stories about a bunch of women and our sons and just encouraging them and really telling them how much they mean to us. The next one is Finding Joy in the Journey. I'm very, very excited about this collaboration as well because it is a 90-day devotional, and I've gone through some pockets of grief in my life with my mother, my brother, my father, and some people close to me dying. And so we just talk about grief and really working through that grief and even finding joy and hope in that. That's hard to do, but we encourage you to do that. And the seventh one is an ebook. It is digital. It's 7 ways to combat anxiety. So I talk a lot about anxiety and how our relationships with God are extremely important in that. And a lot of times we think as women, men, Black women, Black men, we think we cannot address our mental health. And it is so important that we do that, no matter how small we think the issue is or how large we think it is.
Right. Wow. You touching on some topics that need to be touched on with these books. Like, and you doing some amazing things with these books. That's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
How can we follow and support what you are doing?
All right, I'm on Facebook. I'm just Tanya Woods. I'm also have a webpage, and it is TanyaDWoods.com. I have a Soul Lift ministry that I do. I send out mailings to about 12 women every few months, just encouraging them. It's snail mail. It's a snail mail ministry. We don't do that a lot anymore. We're in a text age and digital age, technology age, but sometimes you just want to hold something in your hand, something tangible that says that somebody thought enough to go to you and go to do something for you, go to the post office and mail something off. And so right now I'm not taking anybody else on that mailing list, but if you're interested in joining that list in the future, when I open it back up again, you can go to my website and send me a message, and I'll make sure I get you on that list. But it's just a way to encourage people. I believe that that is my passion, my purpose in life is to encourage people in different ways. And so that's how I do that. I'm also on Instagram as Tanya DW, and I post there as well.
So we were talking about legacy, and I want to know what that word means to you, and how are you trying to leave a legacy?
I believe legacy is really how you show up in the world. I heard somebody saying, what you're drawn to and what is drawn to you. And those things over time create a legacy for you. You have to do what you have to decide what you're going to do with that. But leaving a legacy for me is, when I die, I want people to know that I love the way God loves. I want people to walk up to my son like people walk up to me and talk about my mom and my dad and how they led them to Christ, or they showed them a different way. They encouraged them on their journey. They showed them that there was hope. It is not as much about a physical and tangible thing to me as it is about a spiritual and emotional and mental connection with people. And that legacy will live on in the people that I touch, the people that know me personally, and the people that know me through other people.
Wow. And that's what I've been preaching that to everybody. It's important to be able to have somebody remember the things that you've done. What that dash gonna say for you? That's what I often say.
Yeah.
What that dash gonna say? I think you and Tamala, Apostle Tamala, may share that book in common. I think she co-authored in that book with you.
I'm in volume 1.
Volume 1.
So what volume is
that?
Okay.
You in volume 2.
Yeah. This is.
Yeah, I'm in volume 1. I was gonna be in volume 2, but yeah.
Well, I had the opportunity of meeting Miss Vanessa, Dr. Vanessa.
Yeah.
So I can imagine y'all had an amazing experience.
Yes, I have not had the opportunity to meet her in person, but we have video chatted some. So I'm excited to be able to meet her at some point.
Wow. Well, I know she's right now looking for the third book, Finding Joy 3, I think. So anybody out there want to share, you could be a co-author in that book. She is, Dr. Vanessa is one of the 122 authors, a part of the movement that we currently have. So we all connected, trying to share what we do and trying to impact lives around the world, get the message out that there is hope. No matter where you are, no matter what space you in, that there's hope, and there's hope through Christ. My message is there's purpose, and there's purpose in Him, and He did not drop you out the sky. I believe in Jeremiah 29:11. He declared that He had a plan for you to prosper you, for you to be in good health, for you to have hope. So I truly stand on that. I want you to share something encouraging before we move on to the next guest, if you would.
Absolutely. I have so many messages that I try to get out to people, but it kind of goes back to what you just said, that there is hope. A lot of times we get down and out, and I just want to encourage anybody who's listening, do not stay isolated. That is the way that Satan gets into our minds and plays tricks on us about ourselves and about our situations. You need to connect with people that are like-minded, living for Christ, that are going to encourage you, that are going to challenge you, that are going to hold you accountable, that are going to show up and ring your doorbell, knock on your door, use their key to come in and pull you out of that hole. I have seen so much from even our children that are going through anxiety and depression and thoughts of self-harm and things like that is of the enemy. And we have to stand up against that. We as adults for our children, we as women and men for our friends, we have to stand in the gap. So I want to encourage anybody that's going through something to seek out somebody, seek out counseling, seek out a trusted friend, a pastor, someone that can encourage you, but do not stay isolated. It is not the time for us to retreat and not be with the body of Christ. It is time for us to be out there and connecting with one another and forsaking not that assembly, because that's where we get our encouragement. That's where we're fed. That's where we get our meat, our bread, our manna that is going to sustain us. So I didn't expect to say that today, but I know there is somebody that needed to hear that. And so I'm willing to be that vessel, because it is so important. We are losing our children. We're losing our men. We are losing women to suicide, y'all, and to murder. And we have to stand up against that. We as the body of Christ can change that narrative through him and our belief in him.
Wow. Well, I thank you for that powerful message on today. Yeah, we needed that. And I'm glad that he used you to share that. I'm excited that we were able to reconnect, because we lost connection for a while. But I'm grateful because, y'all, when I first started, I just want to give a little back history on her and our connection. Because when I first started doing this, I was just doing little work with kids in the community in Anderson. And I think I started with the summer program, and I was doing the after school program, and I was doing a little mentoring. And she came down and spoke at a tea. We had a tea, and she came down and spoke at the tea. We did a tea it was supposed to be for girls, but we were mentoring some guys too. And they were like, well, we drank tea too. So it had to, we had to turn it into a unisex tea. It turned out to be a nice event. Individuals came and talked about different topics, just different things. She was one of the presenters. She spoke, and we've been connected. We lost connection, but she's an amazing woman of God. And I'm elated over here. My heart is full of joy to have you back in my midst, because I truly don't believe that God allows people to cross my path for no reason. I truly believe that there's a reason why people cross my path. So I'm grateful that we were able to reconnect. And I'm glad that you decided to join the 122 Authors Movement. Even though she did not get to do her interview for that movement, she is one of the authors, and I definitely want to be able to showcase you some more. So definitely stay connected so that we can get your brand out there, because that message people need to hear.
Absolutely.
They need to hear. And thank you so much for stopping by and sharing with us on today. You know, you're welcome anytime you want to come by here and share with me. We have a newly launched podcast. Trevita is one of our hosts. She hosts a show, Believe in the Journey. Her show actually will air on tomorrow. So I'm excited about that. So stay connected. Stay connected. I'm just happy. I'm over here happy. I'm just happy.
Me too. I'm glad we were able to connect again. I appreciate you.
Yes. Well, you have a great rest of your evening. And again, thank you for stopping by and sharing with us on today.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Now let's see if this gonna work. Our other guest is not here yet. I thought they was down there. Yeah, my other guest is our sister.
Is who?
Miss Alma. Miss Alma Thomas.
Oh, okay.
Let me see if
I'm glad that JD talk about mental illness, because we take a lot of people for granted. Mm-hmm. And I had did a video last year, because on my husband's side there was like deaths back to back, you know. And I did a video. I said, listen, if you can't catch me or find me, do not get offended. Do not think that I'm trying to avoid you. I'm not. I said I'm going through something. I said I have to make sure my husband don't lose his mind. And what people fail to realize is they think, oh, it's on her husband's side. Well, guess what? I'm part of the family. You know what I'm saying? That's my husband. We are one. So if he suffer, I suffer. And that's what a lot of people fail to realize. They thinking he's going through this by himself. No, I have to go through the journey with him because I'm there. These are people who I have met, talked to. You know what I'm saying? So it was just a whole bunch of deaths. 11 deaths. Like when people lose one, they can't handle one. And then so a lot of people, I had cut them off because they were very insensitive. It's amazing how when they go through something, they want you to be there for them, but then you're supposed to just get up and go. Well, I probably need some days to lay down. You know what I'm saying? Because this thing ain't no, oh, well, they gone. No, we had people from ages 20 on up. I mean, our 20, we had a lot of people in their 20s that dropped dead. Weird deaths. It wasn't no, we knew they were sick. It was just weird deaths. They just dropped dead. Then some of them were murdered and some of them died from overdose. So it was like variety of stuff was going on. It was hitting like boom, boom, boom. And a lot of people think, well, you're a pastor, you this. I'm still human. I'm still human. And I don't know why people don't think people don't have feelings. I'm still human. And if I shut down, I'm shutting down because I am a human. So I thank God that, Angela ain't going to let me just lay down. Angela going to say, Angela gonna be in my inbox and everything, like, come on now, we're gonna do this, But God knows how to put people in your life to push you so that you won't stay in a pit. You know what I'm saying? But I don't have time for no insensitive people who want to just talk to me crazy. And so now I'm in a different stage of my life, and now people really think I'm mean. No, I ain't on you no more. That's where I'm at. Because if you couldn't be sensitive to me when I was going through my storm, and my husband said, he told me to stop saying this. I'm trying my best not to say this, but I'm like, kick rocks. That's where I'm at. That's the stage I'm at right now, because you want sensitive towards me, and I know we're supposed to love on everybody and all that stuff. We're supposed to pray for our enemies, but you're supposed to be my friend. And so now I'm going through the storm, and you just want to blow it over like, girl, you all right? What if I'm not all right? And so when it comes to mental illness, we have to be very, very careful. We so quick to telling people get help, but what if the person needs help and then we still kick them down while they down? So we got to be very, very careful when it comes to mental illness, because it can hit all different kind of people different ways at different times, because you don't know what's happening in their lives. And if they said they're going through something, then be there for them. Don't kick them down and make them feel worse. So yeah, I cut a lot of people off and I don't care. So that's where I'm at.
Look, sometimes you just got to protect your peace.
Sure enough.
Yeah, you got to set them boundaries, and you got to have them. And people only get offended when you set boundaries when they're no longer benefiting from what they were able to get from you. Those are the only people that are upset when you start saying no. And no is a complete sentence. It don't need nothing else. And if they can't understand no, then that's their problem.
That's it. But I make sure they understand, because I like to put an explanation point on it. So they know it mean what it says. Because that's not what an explanation. Explanation point after something. It means you're supposed to pay special attention to it, right?
It's emphasis.
Point, it means special attention, right?
Emphasize.
So I put one in the front and I put one in the back of it, so you can know. You better know. I'm
It
telling
ain't but
you.
2 letters, but they stand firm and they stand strong. And you just got to be able to understand that you put that boundary in place and you are the only one that can lift that boundary. And if you're not lifting it, they'll be all right. They'll be all right. People are only offended when they no longer benefit from what it is they were getting from you in the first place.
Sure. I know that's right. That's it. I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just over here just looking at this book. I'm so happy about this book. To be honest, I'm gonna be honest. I'm about to be real honest right now. I really don't like the 8x10 black and white. I don't like it. I like
It's
this.
not appealing. It's not appealing to you.
I like this one because it's color.
Mm-hmm.
And you can read the words better because the words are in color.
It's more appealing to your eye.
And I like it. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back and see if I can make some changes. In that, I just love it because the pictures, you can see the color in the pictures.
Well, you created the book all in color anyway, so when you were putting it together,
I like the color version. I know it looks so cute, y'all. The color version is. I'm gonna have to go back and see if I can do a revise. Look at that picture. Ain't that a pretty picture? Like, you see how that just come out?
Uh-huh.
I like that.
So when it comes to the 8x10, you can't make it color, or it just had to be 6x9.
They did that because I put it in color. It's a color. When I did it, I'm gonna have to I don't know what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to call them first of all. That's what I'm gonna do. Because and then I may have ordered the wrong one. Because there is a colored one and a black and white one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I may have ordered the black and white one. Because at first it would only let me do it in black and white. It wouldn't let me do it in color because of, I guess, the size and then the what's her name? Because of I'm echoing.
No, I have went on Facebook. I turned down the volume.
Oh. But yeah, I like the colored one. I really like the color one. And then I'm looking at these dimensions. They're like 6x9 and 8x10. It's not very much difference. It's not. Look.
No, it's really not much difference at all.
Wow.
So I'm like, why would you just do an 8x10? Because believe it or not, this book right here is cheaper than this book.
Hey, don't be acting up now.
The 8x10 is cheaper than the 6x9. Like this book right here, it costs $20 to print this book.
Mm-hmm.
Just for one book, it's $20.
Okay.
But I love
Right, because of the color, huh?
Yeah, but I love it. I love it. I don't pay my $20. I love this book.
She's so silly. She's so I love it. Mm-hmm.
I do. I love this book, and everybody that buy it, they gonna love it too. They might be disappointed with the 8x10 when they look at this 6x9. Then they compare it to the 8x10. They may be disappointed on the 8x10. They might be like, Miss Angela. But this one right here, honey.
That's where it's at. That's where it's at
right now. So I'm telling everybody, go on and pay your extra $3 and just go on and get this one.
Yeah.
Pay your extra $3 because this gonna cost you $27 on the website.
Yeah, so might as well just go and get the other one.
So go on and pay you $30 and get this nice color edition. And it's nice. And then you can see the pretty people. See the pretty people in the inside. You can see them in color. Let me show you the other pretty lady. She in here a couple of times too. But that was that pretty lady. And the heck of the other lady. Where the other lady at? Oh, that's me. Look at me. That me?
All right now.
And where the other pretty lady at? Where's she at? She in here somewhere. Where's she at?
Mm-mm-mm.
We all over this book. Between me, you, and and Tamala, we need all the affirmations. For real, me, you, Millie Gross, and Hooney did some, but we did most of them.
Yeah,
That lady right there. You see that lady?
uh-huh.
That lady. That's that lady. She said, I love me. I don't think Alma is coming. There you go again. You see you?
What you say?
That's you.
Watch out now.
That's you,
Hey,
Pastor.
I'm
That's
about to see you. Look, those songs that I sent you, I put this my husband had this picture of me. I didn't know he had it. I said, uh-oh. Wait till y'all see that picture. I was shocked. I said, I did that pose. I was shocked. I said, Lord Jesus.
Yeah, look at me. That's me. Look at me.
Look
All
at
right
you.
now. All right now.
Look at me on the back.
All right. Look, in the future, the picture I'm gonna send you. As soon as I get some money, I want to use that pose on one of your on your front cover of your magazine. Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
what those, honey? You talking about
Oh, y'all
pose?
haven't seen it yet, honey.
Now I like the cover.
She said she got to send
The
it
cover
to
came
you.
out good. The cover did good. I like the
All
cover.
right, that's
I just
beautiful.
don't like the pages. Some of them are alright. But I recommend.
You sound so disappointed in that black and white.
I recommend y'all. I highly recommend this.
The 6x9.
Highly recommend. Highly recommend. Get you a copy.
The 6x9. The 6x9.
And that's gonna be how I'm gonna do all of them from now on. It might cost you a little more, but
But it's worth it anyway because you got 121 prayers.
and trust me, I make look. You not did I take? I paid $20 for this. And I'm gonna tell you what the difference is. Now I know what the difference is because you know how much this one costs. Y'all didn't see the what's the name? This one only costs $11.89.
Oh, okay.
But this is worth the $20. I don't care if I don't make no money off of it. You know what I'm saying? Because people are gonna get this. You know what I'm saying? They it will look, and then they gonna get what's on the inside. I want them to get what's in here. Because I don't do this for money.
Right. You gotta share your stuff with people.
I do what's on the inside. That's what I do it for. What's on the inside, and I love this book. Y'all go grab y'all a copy. I'm
gonna get mine.
I want all of them out there. Get y'all a copy. Get your copy. You go get your copy too. You. All y'all go. You in the back. Go get you one too.
Everybody. Mm-hmm.
Album, we waiting on you.
You already text her? You text her?
Text her where?
Her Facebook Messenger.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't got
And
Messenger.
where you at, girl? Where you at?
I don't got Messenger on this phone.
Oh.
And my other phone went dead. It went dead in the middle of me on TikTok. It went dead. I was streaming us on TikTok.
Oh, okay.
And it went dead while I was streaming us on TikTok.
This has been a wonderful show. It has been eye-opening. The topics have been really flowing together. Because my time wasn't even supposed to be until about 3:30. But I said, let me get on up and get dressed and get on here. Because I don't want to miss nothing. I'm nosy. So that's really what it was. Because I was like, I need to see who's going to be on here. I know I'm going to be on here, but I need to see who else going to be on here. Because they might say something I need to hear. So,
that's what we do, and I want everybody, and I don't want everybody to think that this have to always be a professional type thing. I want people to come and feel comfortable, and then I want people to tune in and relate to be able to relate to us. If people can see you in your uniqueness, in your realness, we may make some mistakes. We may have some technical difficulties. People may not show up or whatever the case may be, but we can still get the message out. And to do. So that's why I want people to, and God gonna move. If we just show up, he said, well, one or two are gathered in his name.
Yeah,
he gonna show up and show out every time.
Get up and show up. And that's the thing. That has been my thing for the last couple of weeks that I have been telling people. Get up. Stop sleeping on yourself and get out of the way. If you want God to use you, you got to get out of the way. You got to step outside of fear. You got to let fear go on, have a back seat. You can't allow it to control you because God has created a purpose for everything that you're going through. And if you're constantly sitting there worrying about what this person gonna say, that person gonna say, listen, as I always tell people, they talked about Jesus, but that didn't stop him from doing anything that God sent him to do. So if you know that, then why are you so worried and concerned about what people gonna say? Because they're gonna talk whether you're doing good or whether you're doing bad. But understand that you're gonna fail along the way. When you started to learn how to walk, you fell more times than you can even count. But that didn't stop you from succeeding at it. You just got to be willing to let go of that fear. Stop holding hands with your comfort zone, because anytime you get too comfortable, God's going to shake it up to make it to where you're uncomfortable. That's where your shifting begins. And so when you understand that, know that you got stuff you got to do. And if you're going to walk by faith, you got to be willing to not see what you're going for.
That's it. And see, people start activating, moving in faith and start hollering they got faith, and then they really don't, because time something go wrong, they lose everything that they don't been believing.
Look, they throw them hands up and say, I quit, this too much.
Get it. When the word already told you, if you go over there to Luke 1:37, he tells you, he say faith don't make it easy. It just make it possible.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly. So you got to keep going, and God is going to test you just to see how bad do you want it. You prayed and you asked him for something, and you expect to be able to get it tomorrow. Now, are you preparing for what you prayed for? Because if you're not preparing for it, you ain't never going to see it. Because God wants you to work on your own behalf before he even show up to work on your behalf. What you going to do if you never start to work on anything? God performs miracles, but he want to see if you're going to work on your own self. He already knows what he created inside of you. Do you know what's inside? People always talk about, well, God gives his toughest battles to his toughest soldiers. Nah, he already knew what he created. It's just up to you to find it. Yeah, it ain't nothing that he testing you with that he didn't already equip you to handle. So ain't no need to be worried about, well, God, I don't know if I can do this today. Oh, you can do. You just, do you want to? Do you want to do it? Do you want what you've been asking him for? He gave you a vision. And I tell y'all, he gave me that vision about standing in front of a podium and talking. And I said, God, I think you delivered this vision to the wrong person. This was the wrong address. Because me doing this right here, right now, this is not something that I even thought about. And the first speaking engagement I had was during COVID or whatever. And me personally, I said no. But before I could even respond, God had already typed it out for me and hit send. And I was like, you know what? I did pray and ask you to help me step outside of my comfort zone. I didn't understand that you was going to kick me out of my comfort zone. I just thought I was going to baby step over into that. Since, you know, I'm a small person, wear a size 3 shoe, I just thought I was going to take them little baby steps. He said, no, you asked for me to remove you out of your comfort zone. So guess what? We out. We just going to keep moving. So that's all I can do. Like, God, listen, I don't know. I didn't ask you that. You asked to be outside, so you outside. So go and keep moving. Ain't no need in looking back to yesterday, because yesterday ain't got nothing else for you.
It ain't coming back. You can't get yesterday back if you pay $1 million for it. It ain't coming back. And you better and if you don't move and keep moving, you're gonna miss out, because guess what? Time ain't stopping.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm steady moving ahead. So my advice to some people is catch up with your destiny.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's already been mapped out. Ain't nothing that we doing.
Nope.
It's not already mapped out.
Yeah.
When he said it was done, everything concerning anything upon this earth was done.
Exactly.
Everything. It's just us walking into all of that, just walking into our destiny, just catching up, just lining up.
Yes. And we're never too late for anything. It's always according to his time for us. And that's the thing that we always want to do. We want to put a time stamp on something. You can't put no time stamp on something that God is already doing for you. Your time don't matter to him.
Man, come up with that time stuff anyway, because eternity it's all the only time that I read about in the Bible is eternity. I don't see nothing about no other time that was man-made. That is something that's man-made, so man can keep up with what's going on this earth. So keep on with your time. But
keep trying to put a time stamp on something that God ain't even put nothing on there.
When he
ain't put no time stamp.
No, he don't told us to move by faith. We move by faith. That means seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, align with the word, be intentional about the things that he's called you to, trust the process, and hold on to his unchanging hand. That's
exactly. Amen. Amen. Amen.
I didn't get it until he dropped that in my spirit. When he dropped it in my spirit like that, I was like, okay, God, I heard you.
Look, he gonna nudge you till you get it too. Now, I told you once, don't make me tell you twice.
Look, I've been looking at that faith thing all wrong. I was like, okay. Now, I've been seeking the kingdom. I've been putting that first. Okay. Now, is you aligning with the word, Angela? Oh, yeah, I'm aligning with the word. Okay, so you been intentional about the things that I called you to do, and I was not.
And see, that's the thing.
I was being all over the place. So that's why my faith was not really faith, because I didn't know what faith was, because here I was over here when he told me, you supposed to be right here doing this. When I told do it this way and do that. I wasn't being intentional about the things of him. Yep. So every time those trials, those tribulations, and those tests came up, now guess what? I wasn't trusting the process. I lost all focus. I wasn't trusting the process, and then I forgot that I was supposed to be holding on to his hand.
Yep.
So that was my faith all out the window. But y'all, our next guest is here.
All right.
We're just moving right along. Hey, welcome. How are you?
And hey, family, it's so good to see y'all.
How are you doing?
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, I'm just checking. I'm on the go, but I wanted to get on here. I wanted to see y'all, especially when I saw who for me and who left me. And I miss you guys. I'm glad to see you, even though I can't be there physically.
Yeah, we just been enjoying this day. Look, they've been hanging out with me all day long. I did not expect it, but they came on and they've been hanging out with me all day. We've been over here just chilling and sharing authors and just sharing the word of God, really, because that's what it's been all about. I tell you, when he is your source, whoo, can't stop thinking about it. And where you headed? Because it looked like you headed somewhere.
I am headed to a photo shoot at 4:00. I gotta go and unlock the door so the photographer can set up. So
okay.
After I get that done, I've got another me and Step do the Rhyming Bible. So we've got another segment on a radio show. And then after that, y'all, I'm taking something to help me sleep and I'm going to bed because I'm tired.
Well, I tell you, you stay on the go. I see you just being the mover and shaker that you are. And I'm just happy that you had the chance to stop by today to at least share about some of your books and share about your brand and some of this amazing stuff that you're doing. So the floor is yours.
Listen, y'all know I met Angela. I met Angela after seeing her on Facebook, not knowing that she was from this area. And I was on her show, and it just so happened that the other guest did not show up. So me and her got to talk for a wonderful whole hour on that Sunday, and we've been connected ever since. What I'm doing, at that time, Therapy was coming out, and Therapy was a book that was literally my therapist. I wrote down some of the stuff I had not told anybody ever. When I wrote the book, I let some of my family know if anybody asks y'all any questions, you direct them to me, because a lot of family members saw what was happening in my childhood and just did nothing about it. Y'all know how in the Black households, it's what go on in the house, stay in the house. And it shouldn't always be like that with some of the things that was going on in the house. So I wrote Therapy, got healed from a lot of childhood trauma. From then, modeling, from then designing. Already started another book, Becoming Peculiar Princess, because everybody thinks that because of the way that God is blessing, that everything is just gravy, not knowing the warfare that surrounds you walking in your purpose. When you're walking in obedience, true obedience, it's so much that comes against you to try to stop you from doing what you do, because once you do what you do, you are inspiring and impacting others, and that makes a difference. So in the styling of the models, I'm thinking, I always sit there and think, well, I don't make the clothes, so I couldn't be no. I've got a boutique. I style the models, got ministers even through fashion, in the fashion world. Like there's nothing that he can't use to get his word into the earth. And I never would have even thought of it being fashion shows and pageants, books, just meeting people on the level where they are and encouraging them, knowing that you can do more, you can be more because of the one that completely made and knows you. So Therapy helped me to get to where I am now, because I was carrying childhood trauma all the way up to the age of 48. So I would be triggered by anything, would go off on anybody. Some of them folks had no idea of why I would snap on them for something simple that they said, but it triggered me from the past. It took me all the way back there where I was to, at that point, I became a 5-year-old. I became a 13-year-old. I became a 16-year-old when I was triggered. That's the way I reacted. I blasted people, and they was like, I don't know what caused that. No, they didn't, but I wasn't healed. I was an open, walking, talking wound that had not healed, that was still bleeding. It was still fresh because I replayed it every day. So now that I'm healed, I can look at stuff differently. I see things differently, and I recognize other people who are hurting and they didn't say a word. So I can reach out to them. I can talk to them. I can befriend them. I can pray for them, knowing exactly where they are. Might not know exactly what they've been through, but you recognize the scars. You recognize the wounds. You recognize the words. You recognize the reactions, and you are able to touch them, relate to them, and show them that there is a way out, that it doesn't always have to be like this, that healing can come, that no, healing is not cute. I don't know why people act like that healing is something quick and something easy. Sometimes you got to cry through it. Sometimes you got to scream through it. Sometimes you numb to it. Sometimes you angry with it. But it's a process that brings you out totally whole. It is worth it. I recommend it. even now, stuff comes up that I thought that I was healed from, but it's deeper than what I thought it was because I buried it. There you go, baby. I buried it. It's some things I can't remember when my cousins bring up memories because I repressed it. I didn't want to think about it because there was trauma attached to it. So God is unearthing things in me so that we can deal with them, so I can be completely and totally healed in every area. That's body, that's soul, that's spirit, so that I can be more effective as I go through the day. But just the way that he does it, I never would have thought it would have been in fashion. Not from a nerd, not from somebody who wasn't the it girl in school, not from somebody who to this day would still wear glasses. Now, right now they're bigger than my face and it's the style. Back then it was bigger than my face and it wasn't cute. I didn't have the nice clothes. I had butterfly collars and bell bottoms when they weren't in style. But God, wanted to kill myself, got ready to commit suicide. But God. And now he has me at a place where in spite of all I've been through, in spite of all that's been said to me, in spite of all that I said to myself, he has shown me that he is genuine. He truly does love his people, that he is compassionate about the entire world, no matter what they've done, because we like to put people in the compartments. We like to delegate people to hell, and God's not doing any of that. And he is showing me that he truly can do the impossible. And that's my spiel for the day.
Well, what a spiel. What a spiel. I tell you.
Amen. Hallelujah.
I think me meeting you and Tamala was kind of the same because both times with her, I was supposed to have another guest on and the guest didn't show up. So me and her get stuck for an hour having to talk. So I tell you, God do what he need to do to get his people in front of people. And that's what he did. You know, he used that opportunity to be able to showcase y'all. And I thank you for it because all those years that I've lived in Anderson, I'm from Anderson. I grew up there. I actually went back there in 2009 and lived there from 2009 to 2018. So I was there for about 9 years and never crossed your path. I'm talking about right there on West Side, right there on East Side, going from side to side. I'm telling you, I would leave one side and go to the next, and then everyday thing. You know what I'm saying? I was every day. I was my dad lived right there by Walmart. I lived out there on Simpson Road. But we live right there by Walmart. I could see Walmart from my so ain't no telling how many times I don't cross your path at Walmart because I stayed in Walmart and didn't know who you was.
Correct. God knows.
So God knows.
That's bananas.
And he know when to bring people together.
Correct.
And how to bring people together.
Correct.
So it took me going back to Atlanta before we were able to connect. But he was able to connect us. So that was the most important thing. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful for all of you guys that are on here right now. Thank you for sharing your journey. Because you said something. We allow a lot of stuff to stay behind these closed doors because they don't told us what go on in my house, stay in my house.
That's right.
Grandmas, whoever. I've witnessed it. I've witnessed folks being molested and y'all want this to stay in the house. You won't know. We speaking out. Like I told JD, the last author that was on before Tanya. I'm so glad that we speaking out and being that generational it stops with us.
Amen.
Yeah.
It will not go any further. It stops with us. All this you ain't got, you can no, I can be anybody, I can be anything, I can do anything. All you got to do is want to do it. All you got to do is get up. Yeah, I was so happy and so elated when I got that email yesterday telling me that I had received my associate degree. I wasn't even going for no
Yeah.
associate degree. I was just going to school, just trying to get that bachelor's degree. I wasn't working. I was just trying to get the bachelor's degree. I wasn't working towards no associate degree. Didn't even know I signed up for one. But when these people, they text me and told me I had earned associate degree, don't you know that thing did something to me, because of all the people that said I wouldn't amount to anything. All the people that said that I was going to have a house full of kids, and all the people that said things to my sister about how she was raising me. All those things made it. When I got that, it did something to me. It put joy in my heart, because it all that they said, look what I allowed you. Look what I allowed you to get. Forget what the naysayers say. He gave me a second chance. He gave me a second chance. And I'm so glad that he put in us a go get it spirit, that resilient spirit that will not quit no matter what come at us. Because as I look on this camera, I'm looking at some women that have been through some stuff. I remember you sharing your testimony, parts of when you started to write the therapy book, and the relationship that you and your mom had, and how it landed you in jail.
Yep.
And to look at you now, I know that it is nothing but God.
Yes, Lord.
Because let me tell you what he'll do. He'll reset you without even having to make you go backwards.
Correct.
He will reset you without even making you back up.
Right.
But he will put you back in a place where you can start all over again.
Jesus.
He'll renew you. He will remove all that stuff out your heart. He'll give you a clear mind so that you can think on the things of him. He will clear your heart. He will renew you. That's the word.
Yep.
Huh. And then he can release you to go out here and be that butterfly that you're supposed to be. Man, when he dropped them 3 words in my spirit, we be dealing with me with them words now. I'm telling you that I didn't know that it was gonna fit today too.
Yeah.
Like I'm just thinking that was just over there for the. But yeah, he said he will reset us right where we at, and we not have to back up.
Right.
When people think you got to reset, they think you got to start all over. He said, "No, I reset you right there,
right where you are.
Where you are." He did it for me, and he has no respectable person. 2018, I was like, I don't want to go back to no Facebook. Want to be on no Facebook. I don't want to have no parts of Facebook because people drug my name through the mud.
Yeah.
Something that I stood on. One thing about me is my name.
Yeah.
My word is bond, and you don't mess with my name.
Yes.
That's I don't do that. But they drove my name through the mud. These folks, I was laying in the hospital. When I decided to leave Anderson and got to Atlanta, I got sick as a dog. I laid in Grady Memorial Hospital for 21 days. Couldn't get, I'm talking about blood pressure out of control. These people thought I was going to have a stroke. They kept moving me from floor to floor so they could monitor me 24 hours. So when I finally got home, when I came back on Facebook, I came back on here apologizing.
Wow.
A lady saw my live. She came in my inbox while I was on live. And she told me to get off the live. She said, get off that live. She said, because you don't owe nobody no apology. And she said, get off right now. She had me get off the live, and I got off the live. She called me. That lady lit a fire under me. She told me, I forgot what she told me. But that lady said something to me, and I ain't looked back since. I have not looked back. And when I tell you, she opened doors. It opened doors to this. Like the magazine. I launched a magazine that year. I started doing podcasting. I started doing a lot of stuff when that lady said. She said, you don't owe nobody no apology. She said, because they knew you. If they knew you, they wouldn't have even did what they did. She said, but you don't owe nobody no apology. She said, you pick up and you go on. She said, you pick up and you go on. She said, I better not see you on here on no now live doing none of that no more. She said, you pick up and you go on. Where you left off, you carry on. So I started doing events. Then COVID hit. But I'm thankful because in 2017, God had showed me how to do the virtual book tour. So I had developed a little system that I was doing. And then everybody started doing it. So I was like, Lord, give me something else. I was like, give me something that will be different. So he gave me the opportunity to be on the radio, to do the podcast and the magazine at the same time. I said, oh, now I got all the things I can be doing. I said, so now I'm different. And then he let me meet all these amazing people. You know, I put on my vision board that I wanted to be a speaker, right? Then realized that I had picked a picture that had a whole bunch of people in the background. So I went to this church one time, and the man asked me if he could pray for me. And he said that I see you jumping on planes. He said, I see you speaking before millions. And I'm like, I ain't never been on no plane before. And he talking about me speaking before me. Now that you have to understand that was at a time when I didn't do all this stuff that I'm doing now. Like, I want to come on here. Like, if you go back and look at my Facebook page, you'll see when I started doing lives. Like, I've had the Facebook page since about 2010 when it first came out. But I didn't do no lives until 2018, 2019. It was the first time that I ever did a live. And I'm like, no, he got the wrong person. I was like, he got the wrong person. He got the wrong person. Because I'm telling you, I was that person that I was not finna get on here talking about no Jesus, talking about no church, talking about no scripture. Because get what? I was like, man, them folk got doctor's degree. These people done went to theologian school. These pastors, these apostles, I'm like, oh no, you'll never get on here. And then I might say the wrong thing. And then, no, honey, he said, I was sitting in the room one day and I just opened up my Bible and I just went over there. I think I was in Exodus somewhere. And honey, I was reading and it said, just go. I said, just go. He said, go. I'm going to show you where to go. You open your mouth, I'm going to show you what to say. I said, ooh, wee. And then I couldn't control myself no more. I started coming on these lives. I used to come on here thinking I'm about to get on here and start talking about books. Used to think I'm just about to get on here and start talking about books. Now, remind you, when I first started AALAC, I used to tell people when I interviewed them that it's about more than books. But I didn't know what the about more was. But honey, I started coming on these lives, and I used to come on here I was going to start talking about books. And then I used to let any and everybody come on my shows. I didn't care what. If you had a book, honey, hurry up and shut that down. Hurry up and shut that down, because it was people coming on there with all kind of books. And I'm like, I be on there talking about the word, and they be on there looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, don't you know I'm gay? Like that's, and I was like, I had to start being intentional, and I had to start being mindful of the type of stuff that I was doing. And I know that you're not. I know the word, and I know you're not supposed to judge people, but when you know right and you know wrong, you have to uphold what's right. And I said I got to uphold what's right, because I have people in my family that, they homosexuals. I don't judge people, because that's your lifestyle. That's, you know, I can't tell you who you love, you know, but I know the word, and I abide by the word, and God will handle that, and He deal with people because people have been delivered from homosexuality. I've seen it, so I try not to get into it. I try to love on people, regardless. So that's my spiel for today. I want to thank y'all because it's actually supposed to be Apostle's turn to go and to talk about her books. But since y'all have been here with me all day, y'all have rolled this thing out with me all day. I truly appreciate y'all. I wouldn't have been able to do this without y'all. I think I would have been lost without y'all today. So He know what you need when you need it. And I'm thankful that He made y'all time available. He made y'all available to be here with me on today and to share. So I want y'all, before y'all leave, before we close, I want y'all to share something, maybe inspirational, encouraging to the people, and remind them who y'all are before we go. Who want to go first?
Look, Tamala always put me on the spot. Always put me on the spot.
You the baby, so she got let the baby go first.
I know. I'm the baby, and I'm really literally the smallest one. Like, I ain't before 8, so I can't help it. I mean, it's just this what it is.
Yeah, but, you the baby and you the shortest. You the shortest out the whole crew.
But the thing I want people to know and to take from this, if you take nothing else, understand that God has created you for a purpose and stop running from it. Because everything that you're going through, it may look like you won't make it till tomorrow. But all you got to do is keep putting one foot in front of the other, and He will get you to where you're supposed to go. Don't doubt it. Don't second guess it. Just be one with whatever He's calling you to do, because I promise you, He is going to blow your mind in ways you never even thought possible. If you just continue to put one foot in front of the other and step forward and be intentional with what He's telling you to do and stop procrastinating. That's one of the biggest things that most of us do, because I'm bad about procrastinating on certain things, because I be like, God, look here, I don't know nothing about what you're talking about right now. So I'm gonna wait till tomorrow and do that, and He'll come back about 2:00 in the morning. Now I told you at 1:30 this afternoon to do this, and now here we is at 2 a.m. and you still ain't did what I told you to do. Guess what? I ain't finna leave you alone till you do it. So stop procrastinating on what He is calling you and telling you to do. Because had I been very, as I say, shy about doing this, I would not be where I am. But I am very intentional with that prayer that I prayed at the end of 2019. And that was, God, remove anybody that is not connected to the destiny in which you have for me, and bring me forth to the people that are connected to the destiny in which you created for me. When I said that, I did not understand what I was asking for. However, I ain't been disappointed at all in anything that He has shown me. All I keep saying is, God, you sure this way I'm supposed to be going? Because I'm second guessing myself, but obviously it's something within me that you have already seen. You just got to help me to see it when it comes this way and not let me go to the other way. And He got my accountability partner in here that I birthed, that I think that He sent him here for that particular reason, because I had already said I wouldn't have but 2 kids. But my youngest, when I tell him something about something I got an idea on or whatever, and I say, okay, well, Nate, I was thinking about this right here. He'll come back to me. Oh, you didn't post that video. Oh, you didn't post that on your page. You didn't do. Boy, listen here. I'm going to do it now. You ain't did it, so I'm going to stand right here until you do it. So He has gave me my accountability partner that I got to live with. And he told me he ain't leaving my house till he's 23. So, just be obedient to what God is telling you to do. And if you're in a season of isolation, understand that you got to do some work in that season of isolation in order for you to get to your next level. And it's okay to be in that season of isolation, because God will isolate you in order to elevate you to where you got to go. So don't be afraid to be in a season of loneliness, because you're really not alone. You just got to learn to lean on God. And that's all I got to say.
That's it. Well, that's enough said.
Words of wisdom.
Okay.
I have some good days. I have some hills to climb. But when I look around and I think things over, all of my good days outweigh my bad days. Ooh, I won't complain. Hallelujah. You can't sing too long, because honey, they'll shut you down. But anyway, I had some good days. I had a good time today. God knows what we need. I thank God for all the authors that came on here. I mean, God is awesome. Everybody just brought wisdom and brought what to help you to go on. We need testimonies. And those who got a testimony and you looking for a platform, you always come to mine and you always come to Angela's. My door is open, because I like to hear people's testimonies. The world always got something negative to say, but God is still a good God. He's still a miracle working God. He's still working miracles. Y'all hear me? So I'm going to read Psalm 37, verse 23. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delight his way through. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down, for the Lord upholdeth him with his right hand. I have been young and now old, and have not seen a righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. He is ever merciful and lendeth, and his seed is blessed. Depart from evil and do good, and dwell forevermore. For the Lord loveth judgment, and forsake not his saints. They are preserved forever, but the seed of the wicked shall be cut off. The righteous shall inherit the land, and dwell therein forever. The mouth of the righteous speaketh wisdom, and his tongue talketh of judgment. The law of his God is in his heart. None of his steps shall slide. The wicked watcheth the righteous, and seek to slay him. The Lord will not leave him in his hand, nor condemn him when he is judged. We thank God for ordering our steps. We thank God for protecting us. We thank God for watching over us. We thank God for keeping us in our right mind. And even when the attacks came, hallelujah, God said, boom, get up and keep it moving. So I give you praise, Lord. Hallelujah, because we serve an almighty, mighty God. Hallelujah, always watching over us, protecting us, making ways out of no ways for us, and just providing for us. And when we need people, he sent people our way. It could be a 5-year-old baby with a smile on the face saying, hey, with a smile. Sometimes I would go out, just be sad sometimes. And God would have a little baby walk past, would smile. They don't even know, he just wave and smile. I said, well, look at God. God do that. Like we talked about that earlier. God, he will use anything, the fireplace, the book, the commercial. But when the little babies, they don't know you, they just smile and they wave. I'm telling you, God loves us. God loves us. So remember, no matter what you're going through, God loves you. And whatever story you got, tell it. Testify. Because you're going to help the next person. You can make it. You can make it. You can make it. Those are my words.
Ooh-wee. I want to thank y'all. I'm over here in a little bit of pain, but I'll be all right. Tell the enemy, know it be working. I guess the enemy done told me I done been on here too long. I need to get up and walk around because I got to be ready for Patrice tonight. So I truly appreciate both of you guys for sharing your afternoon with me. I tell you, it's truly been a blessing. I pray that God continue to bless you guys on your journey, and I'm just glad to be connected to you guys and be on the same team in the same circle. So I guess I'm gonna say goodbye to the people. I want to thank them for tuning in and stopping by and sharing with us, those that have been live and those that will hear this as a replay. Thank you. Thank you. I hope that there has been something that has been shared throughout the day that could be a blessing to you on this journey, to help encourage you, to inspire you, to uplift you wherever you may be. Know that you have purpose. Know that you did not get dropped out of the sky, but he strategically placed you here on this earth to do something for the building of the kingdom. So I want to encourage you. I want to urge you to get involved, to do something, to activate those gifts and those talents that he's placed on the inside of you. Don't think that he did not gift you with something. There's something that he placed on you that's going to help you make your mark in this world. So get up and go create legacy. It's waiting for you, and you have the opportunity. There's nothing but air and opportunity stopping you. So move out your own way and allow him to do what he said he would do for you. I am the Queen of Collaborations, and you have been tuned in to Queen Angela's Book Stop as we honor those authors for Black History Month. I love you guys, and guess what? Ain't one thing you can do about it. Until we meet again, I'll see you. Now let me see if it's gonna let me go out, because this thing been over here acting so